Dadgummit.
Welcome back, folks. Here we are again, Brandon and Alec, with another episode, much awaited, of Dadgummit, the podcast about God knows what. So today's episode, we're drinking Long Island iced teas. Very exciting times.
Wow.
As per requested by my lovely co-host Brandon,
Awesome.
maid of honor, as always.
Very well made.
Very well made. In Pennsylvania, I hear.
No.
And today, what?
Why would it be made in Pennsylvania?
Because you're from Pennsylvania.
What?
What do you?
This
What
was-
do you?
thi-
What do
one-
you mean? What?
One, this was made
You're
here.
you were made in Pennsylvania. You're the maid of honor.
I thought you were saying Long Island's from Pennsylvania.
No, they're made in Long Island.
They could be.
That'd be the stupidest thing that you.
I have no idea.
That's
where
an
Long Island's made
absurd
of.
thing that you just said. Never ever repeat that, New Yorkers. I apologize on behalf of the entire state of I don't know wherever Long Island is.
Apologize to the big man upstairs. He's from New York.
Oh shoot, he is. If you know, you know.
About New York.
What about New York?
So apparently Microsoft is opening up a bunch of reactors, mini sub-reactors around the country. And
Why
one
is
of
that
them
pertinent?
One of them is going to be opened in Rochester, New York, I heard. So when the big man upstairs goes home to be with his loved ones after this job,
He's gonna get irradiated. He's screwed.
he can go work at this sub-reactor. That's
Yeah,
in
sure.
Rochester, New York.
If he had the qualifications.
If he had the qualifications.
He had the qualifications. If only.
None of us do.
None of us do. Not a single one of us among us.
Among us.
Red is sus.
No. We should record that sometime.
Green is neat.
Us playing Among Us.
If you think that we should play video games sometimes, and that's something that you're into, leave a comment, I guess.
We're not those people, are we? Asking people to leave comments.
Please, for the love of God. Please tell us what
Please
you want
don't
us
let
to
that
do.
be us. So,
Here we are,
where we left off last
where we
time.
left off, talking about you.
No.
back to Brandon himself.
No, you had a story that you remembered.
Which story?
Maybe
There's-
a fight?
There's so many.
A fight that you were like, oh, I remembered something that I should have talked about.
Oh, I remember the fight that I always used to have.
We'll talk, we'll finish up you, and then
Oh
we can
my
get on to
gosh.
me, because
I'm so sick of talking about me. It's been like an hour and a half. It's been years.
we'll
I've
catch up
existed
with
for
me after.
millennia.
Catch up with me after.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I guess I'll tell a couple more stories at your request.
And the request of all the viewers.
No, the viewers don't request anything. Ever. The viewers are never requesting.
They left it in the comments.
What comments?
Per your-
Perfection.
Per your request. Perfection.
Perfection. Excellent. I guess we can talk about some of the battles that I've tried. Not likely won over my few years of living. I remember a distinct one in, I believe, 2nd grade is what I was thinking about. So there I was, roaming the back plains of my elementary school, as one does, wilding out, recess, having a grand old time, kicking the ball, pushing hoops down the pavement, trying not to get burned on the blacktop. And I see a group of boys, Neanderthals, aged probably 8,
What?
that are aged 8, these
Yeah.
Neanderthals, these hooligans, tomfoolers, as they are. And they're messing with a group of young women, also probably around 7 years old.
Oh, no.
And so I, being the white knight that I am, of course,
The superhero.
the Superman himself, probably a foot shorter than every other
He-Man
kid.
himself.
He-Man, Master of the Universe,
Yeah.
is coming out. He's like, that's not right. These young boys are picking on these young girls.
Little Skeletors.
By golly, I must put a stop to it. Hodor would be proud. And
Oh.
so, Hodark, what is his name? The little boy?
I don't know.
the flying thing?
When you said Hodor,
Hodor.
sounded right. I don't know.
Hodor.
Maybe it is.
Let us know. So there I am watching these youngsters pick on these youngsters, whatever a female youngster is.
Yep.
Dudettes. And then
Yep.
I'm like, that's not cool. They're like throwing these balls at them, smacking them. I'm like, what? And so of course I run over. I'm like, hey, stop that! What are you doing? Get into an altercation with these young men. I get my butt
Did you
beat.
did you misread the
Oh
scene
yeah.
going down?
Oh yeah. This was a complete misunderstanding.
Gotcha. So these boys were, as you do, flirt.
As one does, being flirtatious.
You pick on girls.
I was later
in those
told.
days.
Apparently,
That's how you. That's how
physical
people flirted.
violence.
Physical violence.
Back in the day is how
Yes.
you would flirt
Yeah, you throw
with
balls.
young girls.
Throw shoes.
Yeah, throw soccer
put
balls.
gum in girls' hair.
Gum. Yeah, throw cheese on them. Really awful things. It's I don't condone these actions, and so so they were doing this. And I was like, well, I gotta put a stop to this. So I start yelling, pushing, shoving, getting to a fight, running as best I could.
Wow.
I got small legs.
Wait, you pushed and then you ran away.
No.
I just want to get the scene
I,
right.
I approach, I push. Like, hey, cut it out. And they're like, hey, what are you doing? And so I get shoved back. I'm like, hey, that's not cool, man.
That's not cool.
And
hey,
so
I don't want to play anymore.
I don't want to play this game. And so I start smacking them back, punching, shoving, what have you.
Wow.
It's like 3-4 on 1, me being the one. I've got no aid to save me. Nothing to happen. No other white knights
no weapons
are in this vicinity
no weapons of aid.
to grace my presence. And meanwhile, these young ladies are just laughing, just having a grand old time.
They were not gracious.
And no, I get my butt beat badly by these 4 young men.
Where,
And so I naturally have to go.
where were the teachers, anyone out there
It's
supervising?
recess time. It's lawless land.
Recess time, there was usually a teacher somewhere in the midst of the recess playground. Existing somewhere. They existed somewhere on that.
Well, yeah, they always
Playing a
exist
field.
somewhere. There's no mitts to be had in these plains. I'm by my lonesome.
No man's land.
No man's land. I am actively in trenches and getting my handed to me.
Yep.
Badly. And so, lo and behold, I don't win. I get a few good licks in, by golly, dadgummit. And so I leave with my tail between my legs. And the teachers, after a period of time, handled the situation. That's when I was described to, I was just flirting. You didn't have to do this. I'm like, oh, very well. Never helped again.
Did you
Never helped again.
did you
the
apply that
following years.
information to further
Oh yeah, I smack
pursuits?
everybody now. I get into altercations.
You see someone you
frequently.
like and you just
Yes.
wham.
Absolutely.
I'm flirting.
It's just a flirt.
I really liked her. Why are you punishing me?
Good looking. I don't condone violence.
No, of course not.
Of course not. Never.
So what about high school?
I'm sick of me. Let's talk about you.
No. We'll talk. I want to hear about your high school experience and a little bit of college, and then get to
A
me.
little bit of college. Good gracious.
I'm sure you have a lot.
Oh, too much. So, high school years, took a lot of theater classes. Too much, one might say. I currently hold the record as far as I know. of the most productions participated in lead speaking roles of my high school.
Lead
I was one of the leads about every time. Excuse me.
every
Pardon me.
year.
Every year, every semester, actually.
When did you start doing
Sometimes
it?
more than once a
Like
semester.
ninth grade?
Do what?
When you
When I
freshman in high school?
when I got to high school, first class I took was beginning theater.
Okay.
Had to. Teachers were great. Had a lot of fun. Not gonna mention their names.
Why?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Had a lot of fun in their classes. Made a lot of friends at the time. Um, productions constantly stayed till 10, 11 p.m. at night
Yeah.
working. It was incredible.
Yeah, I
Loved
can
it.
attest to that.
Never had a dull moment in a theater production. Slept backstage.
Oh,
Loved it. Napped on couches.
yeah.
Amazing. Was in a lot of productions. Then
Hang on. Couches. Like we had
couches.
we had a lot of couches usually around our set too. Is that just
Yeah.
you think that's just a musical
A
thing
a couch is a versatile tool.
in a school?
Furniture? Yes.
How often do you see a couch in a school other than the students or the teacher's lounge?
How often do you
The
see a
teacher's
musical that
lounge-
doesn't take place in a teacher's
The
lounge?
teacher's lounge is where you would find a couch in a school and anywhere around musical,
Nurse's office.
usually in the musical director's office for my sake.
Nurse's office.
I don't know what
Principal's room.
happened on that couch. That's all I'm going to say.
So many things. Principal's room.
Really?
Sure.
Have you been to the principal?
Guidance counselor.
Were
Always.
Were you ever sent to the principal?
Constantly.
Really?
He's a cool dude. Good friend.
Are you joking?
Good friend of the family. You want your principal to be your pal. That's how I remembered how to spell the word.
Were you pals with the principal?
Always. Every one of them. I remember their names.
How many principals did you have?
3.
Three. Just in your
distinct
4
ones.
years in high school.
In my 4 years of high school, I had 3
Wow.
principals in high
Turnover's
school.
fast.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yes.
There's a story there.
Was it 3? It might have been 2.
Wow.
I think it was 2.
I mean, more than one.
I think one of them
Something
was my
happened.
principal from middle school that came after I graduated. Like, came back after I graduated. I'm quite certain of that now that I think about it. Absolutely. There's not a doubt in my mind. There's only 2.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah. So musical. What else do you do?
Musicals, captain of the shooting team, famous shooter.
Yeah,
I
that's
am.
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
How did you get involved
With
in the
shooting?
Yeah, shooting.
Remember the FFA?
Was it a
baby?
club?
FFA.
I don't know what FFA is.
Future Farmers of America.
What?
The Future Farmers of America.
You
Wonderful
join the FFA
organization.
and they just hand you a gun. They're like, you're on the shooting club, son.
Well, not exactly in that chain of events, but more or less.
Eventually,
Yeah.
once you join the FFA,
You're in the FFA for a little bit. You're like,
it's inevitable.
I mean, it's a team. You try out for it. Shooting sport. It's called the Hunters Shooting Sports Team. Then you participate in up to 4 events: archery, rifle, trap shooting, orienteering. And I was a member of the orienteering team as well as the rifle team. I was captain of the rifle squad.
What's the difference? I don't know what what do you say?
Orienteering.
Orienteering. I don't know what that is.
You ever seen the old cartoons of like Patchy the Pirate from SpongeBob looking for his treasure chest
Yeah.
with a X marks the spot?
Okay.
Very close.
What?
Extremely close.
What does this have to do with shooting?
Finding landmarks. Finding your place. Being able to read a map, read a compass. Survival. When you're out in the wilderness, it's just you versus the elements.
Is this like Survivor class or is this
Yes,
shooting?
it's Survivor. Survival school. The hunter safety team, you would learn all sorts of wonderful, unique skills that the Boy Scouts just isn't hard enough to teach you.
Mhm.
It was incredible. You would learn how to survive in the wilderness, in the cold, in the heat, in the wet, in the dry.
Jeez.
Rain, air, sleet, or snow. Mailman delivers packages. That's what you would learn. Then
You even get snow where you're at?
occasionally, it's not pertinent. Then then you would they would give you like a big piece of paper. Not a big piece of paper. They give you a small piece of paper, and on this piece of paper would be degrees. And on these degrees, there would be a compass that you would have. And this compass man would read the compass and tell you which direction to walk in. And when you would walk, you would have to go through foliage, thick, dense foliage that would prick at your skin, make you bleed, and was just in general an irritation to you.
That sounds fun.
And so you would have to do what we developed was called the sacrificial lamb.
Oh.
I was the lamb. So the sacrificial lamb's job was, hey, here's the direction you're walking. You're going to go first. Your job, plow everything down.
Wow.
Being the heavier lad I was very good at my job. So you would roll right on through it, literally.
Oh.
Through it.
Curled up in a ball, and they're just
Oh.
behind you.
Yeah. Roll right on
Rolling you.
through. Roll on through to the other side. Then you would stamp everything down. If there was trees in the way, well, go around it. Then they would go to one end. They would repeat the process 3 times, and then at the end, whoever got the closest would get the most points. Because there would be a final destination where you would not die, and then that final destination would be the spot that you would pick. And the closest spot to the original, which you as a team member were not aware of yet, they would tally that score up, and then they would total it against all the other teams that did the same thing without looking, at each other do it.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
So what they're sending you forward.
Right.
You're a young buck.
Forward march, young buck.
What are you
still am.
wearing to, bulldoze
Khakis.
the shrubbery?
Khakis.
What? You're not wearing jeans or, you got boots
I
on,
love
jeans,
a good khaki set
nice
of
thick
pants.
coat.
I love khaki pants.
Carhartt.
Carhartt. No, I never wore Carhartt. Well, no, I had this
It doesn't have
bright
to be Carhartt. Just a workman's coat or
a
jacket.
jacket. Well, it was a winter sport. It was always very cold when we would do it, and it was typically very early in the morning. 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Sick times. Sometimes you get snowed on while you're in the middle of doing it. Hard
Wow.
times. Oh, yeah. You prepare.
Um,
Yeah. Usually I would wear a leather jacket, a man's jacket.
man's jacket.
I would have a thick black mask on
Leather.
to keep my face warm.
Mhm.
Nice thick toboggan to wear on upon my head. Then
Wait 1 second.
jeans.
Everyone might not know what you mean by toboggan.
A toboggan is a hat.
It's not.
It's a hat. And I'm sick of people saying it's a sled. It's a little bobsled. No, it's not a freaking bobsled.
Toboggan's a sled.
A toboggan is a sled, but a toboggan is a hat.
A beanie
No.
is what you're referring to.
Absolutely not.
A cap.
A lesser being would call it a being. Sure, it's a toboggan.
No one's ever heard of that we have talked to.
My entire family calls it a toboggan.
Except your family.
My entire family and my neighbors.
Your family probably made it up, and you're all in belief of it.
You're mistaken.
And everyone outside of your family.
If you
like,
Google it.
What?
Google it.
You
Look
want
at
me to
it.
pull it up?
Pull it up.
All right.
Toboggan is a what? Oh, by all means, take your time. Wow, incredible. Can't even get good help these days. This is insane. Good gracious.
On a separate note, how do you spell toboggan?
Jesus Christ. Toboggan. Toboggan. You've got to be kidding me. No internet.
I was connected to your Wi-Fi.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
This better keep
how
recording.
embarrassing. Dude, your Wi-Fi's down. It's okay. We can press on.
We're still recording, right?
Yeah, we'll keep it all. Whatever.
Awesome.
We'll just move on.
Really cool.
We'll come
That's
back
really
to
awesome.
it when your Wi-Fi decides to
in
magically
post.
come back.
In post. The in post team will figure this out, realize a toboggan is a hat, and then they will show pictures.
Toboggan is more referred to as a sled.
You are sadly
Mistaken.
mistaken.
You're mistaken. I
You're
said it
sadly
first.
mistaken.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
Shooter team, captain, gorgeous young man. Young buck. Living his life, living large, living like Larry.
Mhm.
Then, college rolls around. I go to university. Well, I go to community college first because that's what I could afford. Shout out to community college kids. Then, it's a wonderful program. Then, I got my associate in science. From there, went to university, cellular molecular biology. Did
Just
not
science.
finish.
Associate in science. Was there a
Associate in science.
what's it called?
It's all called. It's all
When
it's
you were
called.
Focus.
That's not a thing.
It is.
Shut the heck up. No,
It is.
you're no.
There's focuses for business
absolutely not.
degrees. There's
You are
focuses
sad.
for science degrees. Focuses for really any degree.
You're insane.
But if you want to live in your own fairy tale,
That is
fairy tale world,
Fairy tale word. Very. Yeah, you're mistaken.
Okay.
Moving on.
Okay.
So microbiology degree, didn't finish. 3 years and out. Whoops. Not because I was bad at it. I had a very good GPA.
Very good.
Just moved on to bigger and better things.
Bigger and better.
Bigger and better. And here we are. Let's move on to you.
Community college. I had a question.
Oh my
Did your community college offer any free tuition for students
No.
that graduated in the top of their class?
No. What? Absolutely not.
Yeah. Our county community college offered the top 10 students free tuition. It's pretty amazing.
Well, shoot. I would have actually competed.
Yeah. Yeah. People competed once they found
I
out,
would've been-
probably a little too late.
I would have been number 11.
I don't know if most people didn't find out until junior year, senior year, and they're like,
Yeah.
ah,
It's like Willy Wonka's golden ticket. Only the top 10
dang
pass.
it.
Shoot.
Why didn't they tell us this when we got here?
I should have been trying. Community college isn't just for suckers that want a decent degree and a cheap education.
Very cheap.
Very cheap.
Free, some would
Which
even
is-
say.
Which is funny because my community college was more expensive than my university.
Really?
Yeah, by a lot.
What community college is it?
Don't worry about it.
Let's shout them out.
Let's not.
Why?
Go Armadillos.
We'll look it up. Let's look up armadillos. If that's what it really is.
No.
Speaking of
It's not.
armadillos, I didn't know armadillos
Shout out to the Buckeyes.
were the Buckeyes or Ohio. I didn't know armadillos were
I'm glad you do. I didn't know.
native to this region of the country.
Buckeyes live here?
No, not Buckeyes.
Who?
Armadillos.
Never seen one.
Really?
I've seen one in a zoo, which doesn't count.
It doesn't?
Could have been genetically engineered for all I know. That thing could have been an oversized roly-poly.
We were in South Carolina when we used to live there for unrelated reasons
Unrelated.
to anything unrelated. Wasn't even talking about anything.
When
What
you
am I
were
talking about?
Backpacking across the country. We'll
When
get
I was
into that.
backpacking. Right. Of course. When we lived in South
Through
Carolina,
the wilderness.
down in Charleston,
Right?
beautiful area.
Beautiful area. Pineapples.
Um,
Bill
we-
Murray.
my wife took out the dog, was walking her around the apartment complex,
The Dodgers. Right.
and lo and behold, there's an armadillo walking around at nighttime just right outside their apartment complex.
Captured.
No, the dog tried to.
It eat it.
Hazel. We'll get into my dogs
Hazel.
probably.
Hazel tried to eat it.
But yeah, Hazel was very fixated on it, and
Hazel
my
has an
wife got a video of
affinity
it
for avian. I'm surprised she went for an armadillo.
because, of course, my wife came back in and told me there was an armadillo outside. I don't know if I would have believed it without video evidence.
As one does.
I'm just lying.
You
I
get
would have believed
excited.
her.
You tell about armadillos.
She runs inside and is like, "There's an armadillo outside."
It's exactly what your wife sounds like.
Yeah. And I'm like, that must be someone's pet. In my mind, I'm thinking that's someone's pet.
Yeah.
It's out there with a collar on.
Typically,
Someone has
an
exotic.
armadillo is a pet.
People have exotic pets.
Of course. Yeah.
You really think this is outside the realm of possibilities in today's world that some next door neighbor has an armadillo? raccoon,
Yeah, I'm
some kind of wild
positive.
animal.
Yeah, whenever I see a raccoon in my garbage outside, the first thing I think is neighbor's
This
pet
armadillo was not
raccoon again.
outside in the
Got into
garbage.
the garbage
This thing was walking around an apartment complex, just living life, living
without
like
a leash,
Larry.
apparently.
Yeah, it could be. That's when they get out.
No collar.
Anyway, um, the armadillo is walking around, and I don't know if I
Yeah.
believe it, so I Google it.
You Google
And
armadillos.
armadillos are native to the north, or not the north, the southeastern region of the United States, reaching the whole way across
That's strange.
west
Never thunk
United
it.
States. Yeah,
Never seen one out and about.
So you didn't know this?
I did not know
I'm
this.
not the only one.
They lay
Me and my
eggs.
wife, we're not the only ones.
Are armadillos egg layers?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm not going to speak to armadillos past their native region because I know nothing.
You
about
don't
them.
have any comments on the armadillo reproductive
As
cycle?
far as I know, armadillos are bulletproof.
You would be mostly right,
Really?
I think.
You think?
If I had to
We
bet,
should probably not talk about armadillos when we don't know.
if I had $1, I would bet a 22 would bounce right off its back. I know a good way to
probably
test this.
probably 20. Wow, how? Hold up.
Wow,
Probably 22. 22 is as good as a BB gun.
that's not true.
You know this. You were on the shooting team. You probably shot 22s.
Oh, constantly.
Exclusively.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, by all means, take a sip when you're in the middle of a conversation.
What else am I supposed to drink?
What else am I supposed
Dadgummit?
What am I supposed to Dadgummit. Dadgummit. I'm going to take my sip.
You work anywhere?
No.
Before this job?
Before my current occupation?
Before the
A
current
brass-
occupation that you
brass
hold?
valve manufacturing facility
Mhm.
and a pest control company
You know a lot about valves?
exterminating. Oh, yeah.
Brass valves.
Brass valve specifically.
What kind of valves did you have?
Globe,
List them off.
gate,
I know them all.
hydraulic. That last one was not true.
Brass hydraulic might not be a good idea.
No,
Brass is pretty soft.
just gate and globe valves. There were other types of valves, but none that I worked on. It was ball.
Wait, what do you mean?
Gate,
None
globe,
that
and
you
ball.
worked on. What
I mean,
did you do?
there's knife gate valves. I didn't work on those. Those things are expensive and ridiculous.
What kind of valves did you work
Swing
on?
check
The
valves.
lowliest of the valves.
The lowliest of the valves. Yeah, it was part time. Part time.
Which are
time
ball valves.
Ball, globe, gate. Any and all. Hand wheel, non-hand wheel, T handle. You name it. I didn't do it.
So
Let's
you got paid for nothing.
I got paid very adequately for work I didn't do.
What was the other place you said?
Pest control.
How long you worked there?
As an exterminator?
I've never heard this one.
I never told you about when I worked as an exterminator.
No. I would explain the mosquitoes.
Swore I did. No, we'll talk about mosquitoes another time. That'll
Okay.
be its own episode.
That'll be one that we're exclusively setting aside for
Yeah,
our
that'll
guest,
just be its own
specific
little,
guest.
little thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, the pestiest guest we could find.
Yeah.
We'll talk about mosquitoes. You know who you are.
How long you work the pest place?
About a month, a little over a month.
That's it.
It was a family friend.
Do you think it counts?
Yeah,
Would you list on a resume?
yeah. I learned a lot of good things.
You
there.
would list a place that you worked at for only a month on a resume?
Yeah, I mean not now because that was years ago, but yeah.
You list a place you worked at for a month on a resume, they're gonna be like, "This guy he can't
was at least
stay
a
in
month and
one
a half.
job for more than a month."
What?
Yeah.
I worked there for a month and a half, learned a lot of great things, helped out a lot of people, had a lot of fun.
Jobs like to see that you are committed.
Well, the other two jobs I had, I worked at for over a year. I was a delivery driver.
Just decided to leave that
Rain,
one out.
sleet, snow. I delivered in all kinds of inclement weather.
Not a lot of snow.
Oh, a lot of snow. The year that I worked there was a lot of snow.
How much is
3
a lot of snow to you?
inches thick ice on the roads. Driving a Yukon. Getting it from point A to B. Little tips.
That was your first car, Yukon,
Yukon.
until your current car right now.
Suck on these nuts.
Wow. You know, I held back on the Imagine Dragons last time. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, take a big gulp. You know you want to.
That's what I did.
I know.
Can't stop me.
Can't stop, won't stop. Get it, get it.
Okay. You really
Let's move on
want
to
it to
you.
be my turn now?
Let's move on to you. Yeah.
Okay.
We can talk about me later.
All right. You want to throw a question at me, or should I just start talking?
Let's start with your childhood. How did
Okay.
it make you feel?
What is this, a therapy session? My NF?
Who?
NF.
What the heck is that?
Yeah, I know. I don't know
Newsy
if I
Boys?
believe you that you don't know who NF
I
is.
don't know what you're referencing at all.
NF therapy sessions.
Noisy Boys.
It's a good one.
What?
NF. The dude we were looking up in the office the other day.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know
Like,
what
I don't
office
know
you
who
mean.
that is. Okay. I guess I'll take it my way. So I grew up, obviously, you've probably heard it before.
Right?
I grew up around Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania,
I'm familiar with the area.
north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
We almost got drugged there.
About 40 minutes north in Beaver County.
Right? Beaver County.
Beaver County.
Home of the Beavers.
See, I'm going to go in a lot more depth than you did because I don't care.
Whoa.
Visit-
Shade.
Visit Beaver County. I don't care.
Go to the
What you gonna
Beavers.
do?
Find them.
You're going to find my old school and egg it?
Find the beaver
I've already
dams
done it.
and then egg it.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
The yolk's all dried up. It's been years.
Speaking of eggs, we might get into it. I don't know. Yeah, so my hometown
Love
was
a good egg story.
technically Beaver Falls. What's my address? What? You laughing? Beaver Falls. Beaver Falls.
Such a stupid sounding
I
sitcom.
think Beaver Falls would be an awesome show title, like Beaver Falls.
Welcome to Beaver Falls.
Probably because there's another show with the word falls in it.
Also, another show with the word beaver in it.
What?
Leave It to Beaver.
I
don't know what show you're talking about.
I don't
Falls?
know. Yeah, I
You
swear
talking about
there's
Gravity Falls?
yeah,
the-
there's
the
Gravity
kids
Falls.
show?
Yeah. That could be it. Is what I'm thinking of. I don't know.
You should be thinking of Leave It to Beaver,
I don't know, but
which is a lot closer to the sitcom you're thinking of.
I don't know what sitcom. I'm not thinking of a sitcom.
We'll pull it up.
But I lived in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, and where I was located, I
Penn
was
State,
specifically in the middle of these three different small hometowns.
home of the Buckeyes.
Technically cities, but not really. Cities of like 9,000 people or something.
Right.
I can't remember the population sizes.
About 3 times as big as mine.
But right smack dab in the center of Elwood City, Beaver Falls, and New Brighton.
Good gracious, you're giving people a map.
Yeah. And I went to a little school out in the sticks called Riverside High School.
Home of the Rivers.
Yeah, home of the Rivers. No, home of the Panthers.
Ooh.
Yeah, Panthers. Black Panther.
Black Panthers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rar.
A Black Panther's just an
Something like that.
opposite albino panther.
Our colors were green and white.
That
and
makes
black.
no sense.
Green, white, black. I
Should
don't
just
know.
be black. It's a panther.
And
I've seen Tarzan.
yeah, so I'll try to describe the kind of people and the area that I was in.
Excellent.
When I say like out in the sticks, it was Hicktown, and everyone that listens to this from home, they're gonna know what I'm talking about. Like
They're already upset.
half of the people that live there lives on farms, and they wore boots to school, sometimes shorts and
Good.
jorts with boots.
Nice.
Disgusting. What
Hey.
the heck are you doing?
That's what I'm used to.
Boots with jorts.
Oh, yeah.
So it eventually
Sexy.
became, we're making fun of it, and people were just wearing it as like a, I don't know, stick it to the people who were wearing it seriously.
You secretly loved it.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I know you did.
Um,
The freedom. The sway that you can get in a nice pair of jorts.
yeah, maybe.
It's
I don't know.
incredible.
Now, don't get me wrong. There was people with money at my school, and there was people that
Oh, I
just
know. I've seen the way you dress.
lived in trailers. Shout out to myself. Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
rich trailer.
I grew up in a trailer. Yep,
Probably a
there it
double wide.
is. No,
Rich.
single wide. Thanks. Thanks.
Probably had a patio too.
We had a wooden deck. Now we added to it.
Wow.
We added a wooden deck
Wealthy family.
to the trailer. But I grew up on a street called Bradford Street,
The
and
Amish lived next door.
all my buddies lived on Bradford Street. The Amish, yeah, the Amish were big in our area.
They help you build the deck.
A little bit more north is where you get into Amish town. No, but they were amazing at building stuff for relatives.
Such a crafty people.
I wish we had Amish down here.
Like the
Virginia.
ants of humans.
Very
Very crafty.
They are. They're very crafty.
Quick.
They do jobs cheap and they do jobs very well.
Wood lovers.
I'd
Every one of them.
I'd love to bust some down here.
Bus? Some Amish?
No, bust them down
That's
here
what I
so
said.
they can, do my roof work or something.
Let's import a few
Yeah,
Ames.
we'll just import them.
A few Ames. Bring them down
Hop
here.
on a bus.
Give them some shingles. A couple of nails. A hammer.
Yes. Yes.
You work. Tell them in Dutch, of course. Work.
Right. They don't understand English.
9. Work. It's a lot of German.
Yeah.
In this show.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, first episode there was for whatever reason, and now it's coming back up.
Kindergarten.
The Amish were around. They have amazing baked goods, by the way. Shout out to Sarah's Donuts.
Wow.
I'm sure they don't want
I don't
me
think
advertising
Sarah's
because
with
it's
us
probably
anymore.
against their moral
Yeah,
code.
they're also never going to see this.
Oh, maybe I don't
It's
know.
electric.
I know some that break the rules.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Do not.
Don't spill any names.
Don't dox any of them.
Don't tell anyone.
They're crafty. They'll build a crossbow and
anyone.
flame you up
They'll get in trouble.
in your yard.
Maybe I don't know. I didn't interact with them a lot. They were around. Horse and buggy. Talking about the Amish.
Uh-huh.
Man, I'm talking too much about the Amish.
You are talking a lot about the Amish. Good cheeses.
Their buggies. They get in a lot of car crashes.
Excellent gas mileage.
Because people will come flying up over a hill on these back roads out where we live,
Right.
and you don't see a horse and buggy until it's too late. They're
Right.
going half a quarter of the speed that you are.
Right.
They don't have flashers,
Right.
and bam, there's a lot of car wrecks with the Amish.
You're telling me the Ames get hit a lot by cars?
Yeah. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know why that just never really occurred to me.
Yeah.
Isn't that what the posters they put on their buggies are for?
They'll put reflective stickers on their buggies. What posters are you talking about?
the stickers.
Yeah.
The little
Post-it
posted
notes.
the triangles.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they do have triangles on, but
Yeah, triangles. Because
It-
they ain't square.
they're still
They're
going a
Ames.
lot more slower than a flying car on these back roads.
You got flying cars in Pennsylvania?
Flying cars, that's right, baby.
Holy cow.
Holy cow.
You're talking about not being rich. Dadgummit.
Gosh darn it. Yeah. So our school was it was small. We had my graduating class was about 120. I've
Nice.
said this before. I said
many
on
of
the
them were
last
Amish?
podcast. None. And no
Ideally.
Ames.
Ideally. No
I
Ames.
don't know if they can go to public school, to be honest.
No,
Like,
they
how
don't.
would they?
They don't get educated.
They can't use electricity, computers, and that's part of
Yeah, the lights,
education
the lights
nowadays.
burn their skin.
I need to move past Amish.
When they keep bringing them up.
Okay, so yeah, went to Riverside,
Right?
120 people.
Definitely didn't egg it.
Yeah, no. So when I was in high school, actually, I started track and field probably in
Let's go back to your middle school years.
9th grade, 8th grade, middle school.
Yeah, middle school.
Okay, yeah, middle school's a good place to
Tell me
start.
about puberty for you.
Oh, I don't remember much of it.
Tough time?
I don't remember middle school
Was it a
really a
hard
lot.
transition
I do remember recess.
to take a summer?
You talked about recess a lot, so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
fresh in my mind.
Excellent.
We had in middle school we had field days,
Okay. Yeah.
and
We had field days.
and we would have class against class, and we had these massive field days with a bunch of different sporting events.
Right. One of them
Kickball was obviously, the
famous,
most,
popular.
yeah, and the most popular.
Every kid loves to kick a ball.
Everyone loves kickball. I
Oh, yeah.
still do. I can't remember the last time
I
I
bet
played
you do.
kickball.
Well, next year.
Actually, I do remember the last time.
Probably a few months
It
ago.
was in Charleston.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played kickball in Charleston with my old friend group, and
That makes sense.
we made it, I think, about 2 innings, and someone kicked the ball too hard, and it
Ooh.
landed on the wire fence that was surrounding, and it just
Oh,
popped it right there.
idiot. What a Chad.
We were done. We were upset. Dude,
We had the similar
what the F?
experience with soccer, and one of the guys went to headbutt the ball. Little did he know, there was a smaller, younger boy or older boy nearby, so their heads collided.
Oh,
The bigger guy was significantly bigger.
oh.
I believe you know him as Wesley. So Wesley hit somebody in the head with his face.
Wow.
This guy's glasses cut up his face
Oh,
badly. He's bleeding everywhere.
shattered them? Shattered the glasses?
Glasses didn't shatter. His forehead shattered. Weren't allowed to play soccer after that.
Yeah. Everyone played soccer down there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So middle school. I'd say middle school is about the time. No, it was really fourth grade. Middle school, like technically isn't until sixth grade. A big part of my life was being a percussionist. I did band. Yep. So I started doing percussion in fourth grade. My teacher was Mr. Withrow, Dave Withrow, shout out.
Oh crap.
Coolest teacher.
Just doxed him.
Coolest teacher. I don't know. One of the coolest teachers at Riverside, and I had him the whole way until my senior year. So fourth grade to senior year, he
How?
was.
How'd you do that?
Technically, that's
Sounds a
not
bit
right, but
sounds a bit creepy.
fourth grade to sixth grade.
He followed you the whole way?
Fourth grade to sixth grade, he taught the youngins.
The young
When you initially signed up for band,
the old whippersnappers.
they walked into class one day and they're like, "Okay, you have the opportunity to sign up for." I can't remember what the other option was, to be honest. Maybe
Woodwind.
no. They would come in and present the band subject and be
Uh-huh.
like, "Okay, you can take this class, and we offer these instruments." And
Okay.
it was like the basic trumpet, trombone, wood instruments like clarinet, uh,
Classic nerd stuff, right?
and then the percussion. And I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, the things for freaking mega minds.
yeah." I'm like, "That's it. That percussion's it." Yeah.
That's where I need to be.
It's not what you think. You don't go in and start hitting a drum immediately. You
Oh no,
go out.
you practice the wrist movements.
No. You go out and you buy yourself a little set that comes with a xylophone in it and a little practice drum pad.
What? Why?
And
Why a xylophone?
you first learn xylophone,
Twinkle twinkle little star.
and you learn how to read music. So I'm like, man, I'm missing out. Slamming. That's what I signed up for. I wanted to bam bam.
I want to smack some people with my sticks.
That's a shout out to my younger life. My family used to call me Bam Bam because I used to smack on everything.
Oh, that makes sense.
There's a little dirt on me.
Yeah, bongo boy.
Okay. Yeah, so I did percussion. Sixth grade is when the teacher changed, and then once you got back to ninth grade in high school, the same Mr. Withrow was the band director for the high school
Right.
and for the marching band.
Excellent.
So he was a great teacher. He's awesome.
Sounds
And he was
fantastic.
a percussionist when he went through school. So he obviously focused on the percussionist more than pretty much everyone else. And he knew, I don't know, he always put a lot more focus on us over the rest of the band.
I bet he
Not that way. That is sick. Disgusting.
You thought of it, not me.
I don't know. You were giving me looks.
Yeah, because I thought it was funny.
um, yeah. So I don't know. That was middle school. That's when we started having dances. I would say, right? Is middle school?
You dance with your teacher?
No, no, no. We're past Mr.
Who are
Withrow.
the we?
The students in middle school.
It's when we started having dances together.
Uh,
Me and Mr. Withrow
um,
on the floor.
yeah,
Getting
I hate dances.
boot scooting boogieing.
I dislike dances greatly.
Oh, I love a good dance.
You do?
Oh yeah.
Did you go to all your dances?
Don't worry about it. Let's move on.
I dislike dances. You're probably wondering why.
I wonder why.
Because they're expensive. Everyone expects it.
Expensive? How are they expensive?
Well, you have to pay for the ticket, or your parents have to pay for the ticket.
Which is how much?
You have to pay for your date. I don't
What?
know. Yeah, because if you ask a date, you have to pay for them. That's
I had
the,
a
that's
I had
the
a different
chivalrous thing to do.
experience. I had a different experience. Sir Galahad over here. I had a different.
Mr. Knight in Shining
livelihood.
Armor that saved the day.
Hey, White Knight.
The White Knight
The White Knight himself. Hey,
saved the day
I'll defend your honor.
for chivalry, but you won't pay for the ticket.
It's not
for
that
your
I
dates.
won't pay for the ticket.
Is that you didn't
I had-
offer?
Well, don't ask, don't tell. So
That policy is gone.
so,
You have to tell.
for now. you must inform. Required, even. fill out this ballot. You will tell me. No, the thing is, I didn't really take dates to dances. That's insane. You go by yourself. You buy yourself some pepperoni pizza from your local supplier.
What?
You eat it on the floor and the up against the wall. And
You buy pizza before the dance or at the dance? What? I don't know. I don't know what you're
no,
saying.
Dingleberry. You eat it at the dance. You buy it
Dingleberry?
at the yes, Dingle. You
Ooh,
buy it
that's
at the
nasty.
dance.
Buy pizza at the dance.
You buy pizza at the dance.
They were selling pizza at
Selling
the dance.
pizza at the dance. The local supplier selling pizza at the dance.
That sucks. You're getting greasy hands.
Sucks.
And greasy pizza in your
The
mouth.
pizza is only greasy on the top. I
What
don't
if you,
grab
what if you
pizza by the
kiss your
toppings.
dates? Now you have pizza
Again,
breath.
didn't have a date. You don't. How do you hold pizza? From the
With
top?
your hand.
From the bottom?
There's grease on the
You
bottom.
slide it. You slide it off.
That's a nasty
You
noise.
slide it off the top of the plate into your mouth,
Yuck.
and you slurp it.
Oh my gosh, you slurp pizza.
Yeah.
I've never
Cheesy.
heard someone
Cheesy,
refer to it like that.
doughy, runny grease goodness.
Nasty. Chicago style's the best. Deep dish.
I don't even want to get into this right now.
Yeah, dances.
It's
Oh
the
my
most absurd
gosh.
thing you've ever said.
Especially once you get into high school.
How much was your ticket?
The amount of weight that people put on prom and homecoming, the queen, the king, students spent hundreds of dollars on dresses and suits and tuxes.
Oh yeah, I never did that.
I know people that bought 2 dresses, $500
What?
plus each,
Why? Would they buy
and
two
would
dresses?
switch out halfway through the
No,
dance.
No,
Yes,
they did not.
absolutely.
That is
Absolutely.
the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I don't know why.
How long was it? Was it 2 days? Was the dance 2 days long?
No, it was
It
just
better have been.
a 2-hour,
Was it a-
3-hour dance.
Was it a buy one get one free deal?
This wasn't even prom. It would be like, homecoming or MORP or something.
2 dresses for the price of one.
Do you know what MORP is?
Who?
MORP?
Like Morp and Mindy?
MORP. I think
Rick
it's
and
referred
Morphy?
to as the Sadie Hawkins dance.
Rick and Morpy?
MORP is backwards prom.
No,
The-
I've never heard
the
that. joke.
girl asked the guy.
I've heard of a Sadie Hawkins dance from probably like iCarly or something, but no, we never did that. Men
think
are
that's-
men where I come
I
from.
think that's what a Sadie Hawkins dance
the
is.
man would ask the date.
That's
the
what every
woman
other
for
dance
prom.
was.
Uh-huh.
is
Sure.
The man would
Yeah, it
ask
sounds like
the
it.
woman.
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
You ate a lot of soy growing up, didn't you?
what? A lot of what?
Soy.
Sway?
Soy.
Soy? Oh.
Soy.
You calling me a soy boy?
Yeah. Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Yep,
Full of 'em.
everyone was soy boys.
You love a good
No one
candle.
grows soy in Pennsylvania.
They better not have.
Moving on. What was I gonna say? I was talking about
Sadie
dances and
Hawkins, you
whatever.
hate proms. You don't like children or laughter.
Senior year, I know I'm jumping around, but senior year, I was the Morp King, which backwards prom. So they announced the king.
So you were the most feminine man?
No, Morp.
That's what it sounds like.
Morp.
That's
You
what
didn't.
it sounds
One, you
like.
didn't dress up in regular prom attires backwards.
You'd wear a dress.
So we had themes for Morp. And our Morp theme the year that I won was, man, I can't remember.
You forgot what kind of king you were? That's sick.
It might have been
Way
like
to go.
hillbilly or something like that. I thought I was in a.
Wow, thanks, jerk.
I think I was in a wife beater for this picture. I can't remember.
Wow, you scumbag.
Yeah.
You just called it a wife beater. Didn't even no thoughts. Just
I don't know what
action.
else you call it. Like it gets the point across. Everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about
It's
when
a
I call
white
it that.
tank.
A white tank. That doesn't get the point across. That could be that could be a white
It
t-shirt
could be anybody.
with the sleeves cut off.
It could be anybody.
That could be anybody.
It could be anybody.
Yeah. I'm jumping all over the place. Okay, freshman year, I was on the track team. I started pole vaulting then. I pole vaulted throughout high school. I know I've said this to you before.
Like riding a good pole.
Yeah. You ride the pole up.
Ride the pole up.
And you give it a nice bend.
A nice bend. You bend
really
that pole.
nice bend. You
bend
flip
that pole
upside down on the pole.
Ooh.
And you shoot your body up off the top of the pole.
You shoot your body over the bar. That pole.
Yeah.
Over the bar.
Yeah.
Get me.
I've broken poles.
Oh.
And
that hurts.
I've fallen multiple times. I didn't say I was a good pole vaulter. I just said I did it for 4 years.
Not on the pole.
What?
You landed.
No. One day, so poles are they're made of what are they? What's that plastic called?
Polyethylene.
No.
I don't know. I'm not a pole vaulter.
I'm drawing a blank. No, they used to be made of bamboos, actually.
Wood.
They were wood first, and I think they went to bamboo.
Carbon fiber.
At one point, they were made of steel.
Vinyl.
No. Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. I mean, there was no bend in these poles. And they used to pole vault in the sawdust. I actually looked up the history of pole vault. And,
I bet it's riveting.
They didn't have the nice, mats that we have now. They had a pile of sawdust.
You get a good mat.
This wasn't that long ago either. Like, my wife's dad used to also pole vault in high school, and he was the guy vaulted into sawdust. That's how I know it exists.
Oh, he would get it in
One
his lungs.
generation away, they were vaulting into sawdust.
They called him Groot.
Anyways,
he had trees all up in his lungs.
So poles have weights assigned to them based off of how strong they are.
A girthy pole.
So if you weigh 180, if you weigh 150 pounds, your pole's pretty bendy. If you weigh 180 pounds, it's a little stiffer for your weight.
You want a good stiff pole.
You want a good stiff. So I vaulted on a 180-pound pole, and
a well stiffed pole.
I would warm up on a 150-pound pole because
I bet
super
you
bendy,
would.
And I wanted to, get the feel. Get the feel of the bend when I was warming up, so I knew how to push out.
You got to see how much give it has.
And I was warming up with, I think it was actually someone's pole that I was using at the time.
You were warming up with somebody else's pole? I was using
someone else's pole that was 150 pounds.
Oh, crap.
And it just snapped on me.
You were working somebody's 150-pound pole.
And these poles.
And he snapped on you.
And when these
that
poles
is
snap,
so uncalled for.
They don't split as if like I bend a stick or whatever.
Or what have you.
A toothpick, and it just snaps. This pole, when it bends, it splits into 3 different pieces.
Excellent.
And it'll come back to you, actually.
Good.
And that's what this pole did. It came back and sliced the rib piece, sliced my body up into my face.
Excellent.
And
that's
I'm just
why you look like that.
Just
Whoa, jeez, man.
I'm just laying on the ground, like bloody. Everyone's running over to me, and I was like, I'm okay. The worst accident I got
Get your
into.
gallbladder removed that day?
No.
Good
I don't. Well,
appendicitis.
why do you need to get gallbladders removed? What
Why?
happens? Yeah.
You don't want the gall anymore.
The gall?
The gall.
What's that mean?
You don't have the gall.
Seagulls?
No, gall. You don't have the gall. You don't know that term?
No. Unless
Well,
you're saying it wrong.
No.
It sounds familiar, but I think
How
you're
dare
not
you
saying it
have
right.
the gall?
You think you have the gall
Yeah,
to
the
say that?
gall to call me out about my girthy pole.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what you would say.
My worst accident.
That wasn't your worst accident?
No. The worst
my
accident that actually almost hurt me for a while was we were at
Almost hurt your bloodied corpse.
an event and it was cold. You know, we're in Pennsylvania, so we actually get winters, unlike some people.
The poles aren't quite as bendy in the cold.
They aren't. That's a huge factor actually. So it's snowing out, and you know we're still vaulting. We're trying our darndest in the snow,
as one does.
So you obviously want to stay warm. So
right,
I have on my sweats. I have layers of sweats on, and I'm warming up. It's my first like jumper too.
Dang it, that hurt.
And I went up the vault, and I went off the side to the right side of, we call it the standards and the mats. The standards is the poles that go up. Bless you.
Thank you.
You're a multi-sneezer. I'm just waiting until it ends.
Waiting for it to.
The standards is the bars that hold up the bar that you jump over. Anyways, I went off the side, long story short, and landed.
This is going to get annoying.
Landed on the concrete, which should have had padding at the time, but it was folded up because we were worn out. I landed tailbone first down onto the concrete. And that pain was so bad. See, this is why I waited.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm sneezing so much. I'm so frustrated. Okay.
You need a second? Just take a second.
To compose myself.
You good?
Just give me do you want what do you want to do?
This is all fine.
It's just staying in.
Yeah, well, we'll just. Gosh, darn it! I'm just gonna look at my notes while you do this.
I'm sorry.
You can just listen while you're sneezing. I land off the side on my tailbone, and I'm just laying there. Felt like I was paralyzed. I obviously wasn't paralyzed, but it was such an immense amount of pain, and I'm sure a lot of people have felt it.
Excuse me.
But you just like lay there and you can't do anything. You can't even scream or whatever.
You landed your tailbone on a.
It was like I got the wind knocked out of me, but also like
on
an immense
slab?
amount of pain. Yeah. So I thought I fractured my tailbone.
How hard did you fall?
Went and got an X-ray.
How hard did you fall? From how high did you fall?
It was only like 10 feet or 11 feet up. When you look up, you know, the standards that high school men jump at, it's not high.
I am so frustrated with myself. I should not be sneezing this much. It's just incredibly unprofessional.
We're not professionals, so it's fine. What was that? I'm gonna wake the big man upstairs.
Pitter patter, tiny feet.
Pitter patter, let's get at her. That's a good show.
I don't know what that is.
Really?
Yeah.
Letterkenny?
Jesus Christ.
You never watched Letterkenny? Ever?
I've seen a couple episodes.
You haven't heard them say pitter patter, let's get at her?
Whenever I heard it was Canadian, I turned it off.
You should really watch these Canadian shows. Letterkenny, Trailer Park Boys, amazing shows. Not amazing in the sense of like, wow, these have really good values and this is something that you should watch with your family. As amazing as in like These are hilarious shows. They're Canadian and they're nuts.
I hate
They're
Canadians.
wild. It's a different lawless land up there in Canada. Nothing. You good? Do you want to take a break?
Ideally.
How long of a break do you want to take? So you good now?
Always.
Feeling better? Feeling amazing?
Due to some technical difficulties,
Due to some technical difficulties.
we are back and refilled.
Wait,
Some
I'm
of-
not.
Some of us.
I still got to finish it off. Yeah, okay. So,
You were
said you had a
saying-
question. I'm done talking about pole vaulting.
I'm talking
So I
about
did band, I did pole vaulting. There you go.
band pole vaulting, rode the poles,
Rode the poles. Yep.
did the band.
I did it throughout college too. Pole vaulting
Got the band back together.
for at least 2
SpongeBob.
years in college, at least.
Excellent episode of SpongeBob.
It became too much in college. It
What did?
becomes a lot more about the athletics, and they don't care
Yeah.
what.
And you're really not an athlete.
One, I'm not an athlete, and two,
Athlete. You're
I'm
no athlete.
I'm there paying for my education. So, also, I wasn't getting a scholarship.
Paying?
Paying for education? No, not high school.
Oh,
College.
I was about to say you did what?
You did what? Your parents paid for
Your-
education.
You paid. My parents didn't pay for public school. What are you talking about?
You think you just go to public school and
Yes.
get paid for?
Public school is free.
Public school is not free.
Public school is free.
It is paid for through your tax dollars or
Yeah,
for your
tax dollars.
you're paying.
Sure. In that case, I paid for my own schooling.
You know, it kind of sucks. I don't want to get into it, but it kind of
What?
sucks having to pay for other people's children to go to school when you don't have children.
Free access
Just saying.
You're okay.
A lot of people have to pay property taxes that go to school taxes to send other people's children to school. Some states
This is not a political broadcast.
some states, don't make you pay for school taxes or they filter it out somehow.
Who?
West Virginia. I know.
Mountain
at
Mama,
least. I love
Country
West Virginia.
Roads, Take
I
Me
want to move
Home.
to West Virginia.
Okay, well,
They're amazing. They're
go
lawless.
there then. What?
They're lawless. Amazing state. Beautiful. Pennsylvania is beautiful. Pennsylvania has nice rolling hills, and where we're at right now in Virginia is
Amish?
flat.
Uh-huh.
Flat. It is disgusting. Sorry. Sorry, Virginians.
You just doxed us.
You're not Virginian. We're just here temporarily.
Spoken Virginian.
Virginianians.
Virginese.
Virginians.
We're Virginies.
I mean, okay, you go west in the state, and it is pretty beautiful out there in Shenandoah. Virginia's got Shenandoah. It's beautiful. Washington, D.C., I love. But
got
technically, it's its
Richmond,
own thing.
the capital of the
Richmond
South.
is beautiful.
And by capital of the South,
Have you
I
ever been to
mean
the
one-
Capitol House?
the one true South. The Confederacy.
Need a drink after that.
Need a nice strong drink.
When was the last time you were in Richmond? Ever?
I've been a couple times.
Have you been to the Capitol building in Richmond?
No.
For the Confederacy
No,
Capitol building?
I'm not married.
What?
What?
What
I met your wife.
does that have to do with anything?
That's where you take your wife. Courthouse.
To the Confederacy Capitol.
To the-
Honey,
As one does,
Honey, we're
takes
gonna
their
get married.
wife to the Confederate capital.
we're gonna get married in the Confederacy Capitol.
Well, where else did you get married at?
Anywhere.
Where? Name one place.
In a church,
Oh gosh, idiot.
outside.
Oh, stupid.
Where me and my wife got married it wasn't technically a botanical garden thing, but it basically
Even worse.
was.
Cheap.
It was? No.
It was.
It was actually
was.
expensive.
How is it expensive to get married around plants? I could go outside to find a plant.
Not a lot of plants.
You can find tons of plants outside.
It's
You see my garden in the summer?
So we spent a lot on the venue and
There's at
food
least a
because
dozen.
we only had like, I think we had 12 people at our wedding. It was like immediate family.
12 people.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
had 12 people at your wedding.
Yeah.
How many of them were groomsmen and bridesmaids?
And this was so it was in 2020.
And you're saying this is expensive.
This was before COVID.
What, 20
We
bucks
did
a
not
person?
we did not have it unwillingly that small. We had it willingly that small. Because weddings are another hot take. Weddings suck too.
Oh my gosh.
Weddings and dances.
I would
Okay?
love to have a big wedding. You're just not you're a party pooper.
Not a party pooper. I love
You
parties.
are a party pooper.
Weddings and dances are
What?
an excuse to have a big party with alcohol.
You don't love parties, but you love the things that you say are big excuses to have parties.
No, I love parties. Parties are fun. But
And you don't love weddings.
weddings,
One of the biggest parties.
weddings and dances
And you don't love dances.
are more about the party rather than the ceremony.
You are such an illogical scumbag.
Because as soon as someone thinks, oh, so and so's having a wedding, they're like, I can't wait to go. They're going to have an open bar. There's going to be women there. There's going to be a lot of single women.
How much of
gonna
that is a
hook
bad
up.
thing?
I'm going to hook up with all of his cousins.
Promiscuity, albeit, can be bad. But how is the other things bad?
And everyone makes weddings about themselves. You know, you have.
Well, yeah, it's a
yeah.
wedding. It's supposed to celebrate that
you
person.
have your family. You have no, not about the groom and the bride. The wedding always becomes about freaking aunt so and so or uncle so and so or grandma this or this uncle's new freaking girlfriend or whatever. Like it always becomes about other people, and I
don't
hate
know
that.
what kind of weddings you've been to, but I
Have
don't
you
have
been
that
to a wedding?
My siblings' weddings, my parents' weddings.
Ask your siblings what
That's
crap
about it.
they went through
My step siblings'
when
weddings.
they were planning the wedding and everyone was reaching out to them asking for specific requests.
I'm pretty easygoing, so I didn't have requests.
Oh, I'm sure you didn't, and that's why your feeble little mind
Hey, it's not feeble, it's easygoing.
cannot fathom
Easygoing.
cannot fathom these things that people are
Infathomable.
idiots.
Infathomable.
I wanted my closest family there and like two of my friends, and that was it. I wanted immediate family, but
12.
a wedding is between the spouse
I can name 12
The
people on
spouses.
both my hands.
and whoever the heck they are swearing to. For
What?
our case, it was God. For other people, it's the state.
Your family swore to somebody else? What?
No,
What is this, King Arthur?
the husband and the wife make a vow before God, or you make a vow
I wouldn't know,
before,
I'm not married.
or if
yet.
you don't believe in God, you make a vow before
Yet.
the state. And you say, state, I promise. Federal government, I promise I will be true to my wife.
Ideally.
Please give me that tax refund.
Good.
Please give me that big reduction on my taxes.
Love a good tax refund. Gets my giblets in a twist.
Stop letting me talk about politics. I'm gonna get going. That's not what this is about. I keep mentioning my wife. A lot of you know my wife, and some of you don't. Or actually,
Some of
sorry,
you.
some of you know my
The
wife. A lot of you don't.
The vast majority of
Should have
you
said that backwards.
hopefully do not know your wife.
So my wife's name is Lindsay.
I've met her.
We
So why would
met.
you say her name?
Why not? My name is Brandon. Yours is Alec.
Hey,
My wife's name is Lindsay.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Crap.
Dang it.
Big Al.
I said all the names. And so we met
They're gonna find
in
us.
high school, and she was the new girl at Riverside. She
New
moved from
girl.
Altoona
Zoe Deschanel.
her sophomore year,
Altoona.
my junior year. It was the beginning of the junior year. It was the beginning of the sophomore year for her.
Mm-hmm.
We both did band. Oh my gosh, we met in band camp.
Nerds.
At one time in band camp.
I bet you had so much acne.
I can't remember. I don't know if
You
either of
had
us did.
acne?
I think I think our skin complexion's gone down
You-
since then.
You definitely had acne back then.
Oh, thanks.
I'm looking at it right now.
Now you look at a picture. Jamie, pull that up.
Jimmy,
I'm not
excellent.
pulling up any pictures of me back then
You better.
because
I want to see that puka shell necklace.
so one thing I actually used to get made fun of for is, and still do, probably you saying it behind my back,
Probably.
but I have a big head
You
and
do. And the little arms.
I have a big hey. Hey. So yeah, I have a big head and I've been trying to grow into it since
only gotten
I've
bigger.
figured that out. So that's why I work out and you can tell it's really
You work
going
out to make your
somewhere
head smaller.
to make it appear smaller.
A lot of guys do the opposite.
No, I'm just kidding. I mean, that's part of it, sure, but I really don't care. I just accepted it. I work out to be healthy.
Get some bone shaves.
I work out to be healthy.
Uh-huh.
I want to live to 120 years old.
I'm going to live to 120 years old with the help of eczema skincare and my big handsome muscles. I'm going to live in triple digits. I'm going to keel over at 45.
Yeah, so I have a big head. And I always
Times
had a big
3, I'm going to live forever.
head. So
Forever.
my nickname was Big Head, or yeah, real original Big Head. There wasn't a cartoon named Big Head like Shorty
Right.
McShort.
Yeah.
But eventually
Fight it next
it
time.
was Megamind. Yeah.
Nice.
And there would be a picture of me next to Megamind.
Good. He was a hero.
Mm.
Will Ferrell. Excellent actor.
Was it Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell played Megamind.
I haven't seen that movie in a while.
I have.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
A few weeks ago.
Nah.
About a month ago.
Which is it?
A few weeks is about a month.
Few weeks?
About a month,
Disagree.
give or take.
Why did you watch Megamind?
Why not? It's a cartoon. It's available.
Are you making fun of me?
No.
You're making fun of me.
Just want to feel closer to you sometimes. Darla. That's what that woman's name was.
I don't even know how we got here.
The news reporter. You're talking about your fat head and your little arms and your wife that you
I'm
married.
a skinny dude, so I didn't start
Yeah,
working
okay.
out until probably like if I stop working out for any amount of time, well, an extended amount of time. So like I immediately start shredding any of the muscle that I've gained.
As one does.
I will slim down and you will see how big my head is.
Yeah, your head's
compared to my body.
pretty thick.
But
Voluptuous.
it is
head.
what it is, you know. It's a light bulb head.
It is a light bulb head. It's very
I'm talking a lot
it's
about
very
my head.
incandescent.
Here I am talking about my head.
Yeah. You've got only copper between those ears.
So the reason I mention that is because my sophomore to junior year,
Nothing but filament.
I was probably just starting to really work out. So my wife met me when I
Good on
was
you.
skinny,
And she still loved you?
and she still liked me, or she just got fed up with me bothering her and just started dating me.
You
I
bothered your
haven't
wife?
figured that out yet. Which one it is, if she actually liked me or not. I wore
We can ask her
2
later.
studded earrings.
Makes sense.
You can see the holes in my ears.
Yeah, probably made your ears look even bigger.
It did. if you look back at pictures and you see those big diamonds.
You got thick
Actually-
cartilage on those ears.
Actually, someone was pulling up my Facebook the other day in one of the offices at work, and
Uh-huh.
I walked in and they had my picture up already.
Good.
That picture
Good.
of me with the diamond earrings.
Your
And
nickname should have been Mighty
I'm
Lobes.
like, what are you doing? Why'd you have this up?
Why?
I just happened to walk in.
Why is that
There
there?
was nothing prompting them to be looking at my profile
Strange
picture.
people.
Buttheads. You know you are.
Dinguses and dingleberries, every one of them.
You've been saying dingleberries a lot. Have you got something to talk about?
Yeah.
Do you need a bidet?
Not yet, no.
What do you mean not yet?
Bidets are for sick people.
I ordered a bidet.
No, you did not.
Yeah.
You better not have.
Yeah.
Do you know what that thing does?
It's the next step in evolution, all right?
It goes inside you.
No, it does. That's like saying that when you jump in a pool or something, or in the ocean, it's
what?
gonna go up inside of you.
It doesn't.
No,
Why do you think you have to pee after you get out of the pool?
you have to pee.
You don't?
No, that's not a known. It's not an every time thing.
You think you're not the
I don't
least
jump in the water and I'm.
You think you're
immediately
not the least
like,
bit
I need to pee."
osmotic.
Maybe.
You are siphoning nutrients,
Not
chlorine,
not up
water
that hole.
from the pools.
Not up that hole.
Oh yeah, you are. What goes in those holes goes into the bloodstream
And I don't-
directly.
I don't think that hole would cause your bladder to fill.
Oh,
I think those are two separate areas.
It fills like a balloon.
Maybe for you.
Huge inflates.
I can't remember what I was talking about now.
Peeing.
What? I wasn't talking about peeing. You were talking about peeing.
Megamind, incandescent tree.
They have my picture up. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Dingleberries and dinguses.
Oh, out here. Anyway. Yeah, I met my wife my junior, sophomore. She just moved from
In the
the
third
middle of
grade.
Pennsylvania in Altoona, Pennsylvania. If you
In the-
don't know where I'm at, Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
which you should.
I
It's on the
don't.
western side of Pennsylvania,
Okay, I'm
about
tracking.
the middle line of Pennsylvania, but on the western side.
Middle line,
If that
Hershey.
makes sense. Actually, Pittsburgh south, but I'm on the middle line
Near Hershey.
in Beaver County.
I have no idea anything about Pennsylvania.
Anyway,
I've been to Philadelphia with you once.
so is that like typical like new girl, like, oh my gosh, you see the new girl, she's so cute.
Or just like the TV show.
Yeah, but I also had just broken up with my previous girlfriend.
Ooh.
So that was like,
Oh
that-
no.
it wasn't a rebound thing.
Uh-huh.
Because I think I was already hooked from my
Well,
previous
You've
girlfriend
been
when it
rebounding
happened.
for a while. If it is.
This would be a long
That
rebound.
must have been hard.
Because it's coming on.
you.
That was 2014 when that happened. When I met her and we
That was
started
9
dating.
years ago.
Yeah, 9 years ago.
9
Wow,
years
that's
ago. You're
crazy.
freaking old.
Oh,
Oh.
I think we're coming up on our
What?
the anniversary's coming up.
Crap. You know what that means.
I didn't remember.
You owe somebody something.
Who?
Your wife?
What?
What?
Who do I owe?
What do I do?
I don't. What would I owe? I'm so
What do I give her?
lost.
I don't know.
They're gonna collect.
I've not been married. They, she, it. It is going to collect from
Okay,
you
so we met in band camp.
$200
I mean, that's at least when I noticed
after
her,
passing
and
go.
I was like, "Wow, she's really cute," and I think I want to pursue her. What?
Don't say pursue.
Why?
Just-
Pursue is a common word used.
Yeah, in the 70s.
This was in the 70s.
I must pursue her.
I didn't say it like that. And when you say it like that, then it doesn't matter what time period.
I must pursue her.
When you say it like that,
She's going to love me one day.
it's like the Zodiac
That's
Killer.
you. How do you know what he sounds like? Nobody knows what he sounds like.
Yeah. Huh? I met him. Ted Cruz?
What? No.
No, I've never met Ted Cruz.
No, the cruisy boy would never.
Where did that actually come from? You know?
Teddy?
No. I don't care where Ted Cruz came from.
Teddy.
Where did the Ted Cruz being the Zodiac Killer come from? You know?
The police sketch of him looks kind of similar.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where it came from?
And he is around the right age, technically. And I don't know if the two things I just said, I'm certain of. The third thing is I'm pretty sure he lived in that state that he was active during at that time.
California.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was California.
I don't know.
If I
anything
remember the
else.
movie correctly, which movies are,
Well, by accessing my
100%.
memory data banks
It's a viable
positively,
source, valid source.
secondhand sources. Gosh, was Ted Cruz a Zodiac Killer? Not quite sure.
Anyways,
Moving on. Welcome to
um,
the podcast, Ted Cruz.
and then so I was also involved in like extracurricular activities, like
With your wife.
extracurricular activities, um, that she also did. So like a lot of the stuff that
Let's
I
keep
was
it
doing,
PG.
she was also
13.
signed up for. So like mock trial, you know what mock trial is?
Sure.
You do?
No.
You're a liar.
We didn't have that fancy thing in my school.
Mock trial
We didn't have
is
no fancy book learning
a
trials.
state-sponsored event for schools across the state to partake in a court case that was made up each year. There's a different court case each year, and they would send out the case info, like the case facts, and the schools like would create a team, a defense attorney, a defense team, and a prosecution team, and then you would also have witnesses. So the witnesses were basically just people that memorize their lines. Like, let's be real. Like, if you played a witness in the mock trial, you were basically just an actor.
You were part of a professional whodunit.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, yeah. And we would go into the nearest courthouse in your county,
You would
and you would
roleplay.
go against other schools.
You were
Against our prosecution team would go against their defense, and
You
vice
were
versa.
court LARPers.
Yeah, we LARPed in the courts.
You know, as one does.
You would dress
the,
up in
The
suits.
court LARPers.
You would dress up in your little monkey suits.
Suits of monkey fur
Mhm.
and white gilded wigs. Thick brimmed hats. Feathers
Yeah.
on caps and powders.
We wore
upon
those
the,
white powder
upon the
wigs.
face. No, you did not.
I wish.
You better not have. That's
And
sick.
why?
Those things are made of who knows what.
They're amazing. We should bring them back.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, so we'd go into the courthouse. Your prosecution team would go against their defense team, vice versa, and your classmates, whoever else was in the club, or whatever you wanted to call it,
Your fellow courthouse LARPers.
the ones that memorized the witnesses' lines would go up, and you would make your whole
Theater kids,
argument.
really.
You would read the quick case facts. You would read each person's testimony, and you'd put together your little, I don't know, your little trial. I guess I don't know.
Your little trial. Your tiny little trial.
And
Petite.
there was a jury. The jury was made up of lawyers in the county, like
Real
actual
lawyers?
real lawyers.
They took time out of their day
grading.
to
There wasn't like just one or two of them. There was probably like 10 to 15 lawyers sitting in the
10
room grading you.
backwoods
Students.
Pennsylvania lawyers
Yeah.
came to your court LARPing trial to assess your ability
To
to
grade
fake
high school
persecute.
students. To grade high school students on their ability
That's
to
the
be
most
a lawyer.
stupid, absurd thing I've ever
It was so fun. It
heard.
was a blast. Anyway, she did.
Were
She
they
also
paid or was this
did that.
volunteer?
I don't know.
Did these?
I hope they got paid.
I hope not. That's expensive.
What?
Lawyers?
They spent. I mean,
How many hours was
they're probably
this?
not getting paid a lot, but
If
like
my-
you should
I
get paid for your
swear,
time.
If my tax money is currently going to my home
Probably.
state's LARPing lawyers,
Probably.
I will flip out.
It probably is.
I'm not paying for
I
that.
guarantee it.
Take it somewhere else.
Most states
Put it
do
to a park, a road, a cement patch on a library. I don't care. Don't give it to some LARPing lawyer. I'm not.
LARPing high school student.
I'm
lawyer.
not dealing with that. Absolutely not.
And a local
They can watch
lawyer
YouTube.
from your hometown would
Watch
most likely come and volunteer their time to coach you in
No.
your team.
Watch To Kill a Mockingbird. How many of you became lawyers?
Actually, on our
Incredible.
team,
Incredible.
I
Almost
know one.
Zero. One?
Yeah.
How many were on the team?
I mean, it depended because people were graduating, and
the
people were
question.
coming in.
Answer the question.
At a time, there was always 3 witnesses, and there was
3?
and there was 2 attorneys on each team.
So you're saying 1 in 5?
So there would be 5 on each team. There's 2 teams, so 10.
You know of
Ish.
one person out of roughly 5 to 10 people that became a lawyer.
Yeah.
So 10 to 20%.
So
of the
let's.
people that did this bullcrap
I'll,
lawyer LARPing became lawyers.
I attribute
Were they even good?
doing mock
Is he even a
trial
good
to me
lawyer? Or she?
pursuing.
Women can be lawyers.
Probably she. Yeah.
She
is a
became a
she.
lawyer.
Yeah, she became a lawyer.
What was it?
Yeah, she seems like she's doing well. She's still a lawyer.
Yeah, they always are.
She's still a lawyer, and she was a senior when I was a freshman. So she's older than me. She's been doing it for a while.
I bet her name was Claire Sawyer.
No, I probably, even if I remember it, I probably
Claire
wouldn't say it.
Claire Sawyer, future lawyer. Shout out to Ned's Declassified. School
that's a
Survival
throwback.
Guide. Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah.
Those kids are still alive.
Yeah, they took a
Cookie.
picture or whatever, like
Yeah.
together now, like recently, and they were, because Zoe 101's coming out with new
Zoe
episodes.
102 or 201, whatever it's called.
Yeah, and iCarly's coming out with new episodes.
Yeah,
so like they took
whatever.
a picture together and like were teasing new Ned's Declassified.
What are they gonna do? High school after 20
Ned's
years?
Declassified college post-college survival guide. I don't know.
Why? What are they gonna tell me about? How to be an adult?
No, I don't think
They're
they
gonna teach you
actually
about
are. I think they
taxes?
were just making fun of the other shows.
Good.
Is what I saw. I
I don't know what they could teach me this late in my life.
They could teach you a lot.
What are they, like 2 years older than me? 3?
They're probably like 5
4?
years older.
5?
Than you. They're old.
They're around mid, late 30s or early 30s, late 20s.
Yeah.
So stupid.
So we met in mock trial. Well, not met. She also did mock trial. I did mock trial.
Can't
And
wait to
then
make fun of her about that.
We
later.
also did
Lawyer
another thing. It was called chain reaction contraption. Rube.
You
what-
were in
what
a
are they called?
Rube Goldberg
Rube Goldberg.
club.
Yeah.
Why?
How'd you know that?
I know who Rube Gold. Well, I don't know who that is.
But do you know you got that from chain reaction? Surprised.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I used to play with the I Spy Kids books.
what does that have to do with anything?
Rube Goldberg machines in almost every game. Every game of I Spy.
No, it's just like a cluttered mess of a room.
Yeah, of Rube Goldberg machines.
Find the pink ball or find the mouse or something.
Ideally,
Those are great.
they are
Uh,
great.
We
I
should
loved
get
them.
some.
My eyesight was incredible when I was using those.
Those were the days.
I used to
sitting there with the
play
I Spy book.
The I Spy Haunted Mansion
Yeah.
CD-ROM.
Yeah, the
You
Haunted
played that?
Mansion. Yes,
No way.
absolutely.
I don't know
Wow, you
anybody
just-
else that has played that game.
You just brought back a
That,
core
that
memory.
game is awesome.
Yeah.
Finding
Oh
all
my
the ghosts.
Gosh, that's wild.
Ooh, sweet.
Man, we
I
should
would-
order it.
I would
Play it
order to
here.
I would check it out from my local library for weeks at a time, and I would play it in my granny's
And
house.
never return it.
Never return it.
Your local
still holding
Library of
on to it.
Congress card. Oh crap.
Local,
Yeah,
really?
local
My
library.
local Library of Congress card.
Why would you get a card to the Library of Congress?
Why would you not? It's free. It's available. It's just like any other
Did
library
you check
card.
out your spy book at the
No,
Library of Congress?
they wouldn't let me. They said, "Sir, how'd you get this?" I said,
Sir, we only have one copy of that.
"I know a guy downstairs." And he gave me the card.
What card?
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So you had a confined space. Like I
Why?
can't remember. It was
Why
probably
are they
like,
making you claustrophobic
it was
in the
probably like
LARPing lore?
3x5 box, and you had to make whatever inside of it, and you had to
Oh,
theme it.
I
and
forgot. We
it got
moved on.
graded. Yeah, the
Rube Goldberg.
Rube Goldberg machine,
Okay.
chain reaction
Chain
contraption.
reaction contraption.
So she also did that. So we did band, we did mock trial, we did chain reaction, and
Sensing a pattern.
we also took chemistry. I took chemistry late.
Ooh.
She took chemistry at the right time. I took chemistry late.
She's younger than you?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
So I had to go back and actually take chemistry with a grade below me.
Wow. Imagine
Idiots.
sucking that hard.
Idiots.
You guys are
I
morons.
was so far ahead of them.
I've got so many pubes. You haven't even gotten on my level
Let me
yet.
count them.
Smell my hair. Nerds.
When you were in high school, did
Look
you
at
ever
how
hear?
thick my Adam's apple is.
Did anyone ever say, "Don't shave down there because it'll grow in thicker"?
Yeah.
You ever hear that?
Yeah, and then you would do it anyway because you
Yeah.
want it to be.
Yeah.
You want it to be thicker.
Don't shave down there. Growing back
Say
faster and
less.
thicker.
Say less.
Hey, I'm already sold on it, man. Stop trying to sell
You're,
me.
you're already with the razor. What?
Hold on.
You're
I'm running to the
telling me
bathroom now.
I can turn peach fuzz into rope?
Amazing.
This is incredible. This is such a good glitch.
All right. Moving past that conversation.
This is stupid.
Yeah, so we took chemistry together, and I slid into her lab partner.
DMs. Oh. Whoa. What do you mean you slid into her lab partner?
I was going to try to think of something like slide into her DMs, and I just
What?
came up short and said lab partner.
Why did you slide into her lab partner?
No,
What
I
is that?
was her lab partner.
Oh, I was like, I don't think this is the time or place to admit to
I don't know
this.
what it is. You probably shouldn't say
I
that.
slid into her lab partner.
She probably won't like that.
It's the most incredible experience I've ever had. Her lab partner had a great time. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, so
She was Amish.
I purposely wanted to be her lab partner, of course.
She smelled like cheese and she hated electricity.
And like, I don't know if you ever experienced it, but like going on field trips
No,
or going
I doubt it.
going on field trips or
Yeah.
going somewhere on a bus
Right.
with a
Bus
girl
time.
that you like. It's
No.
like the time, I don't know, it's like a
The time stands
special
still?
place.
Oh,
Yeah, time stands still and
I've
you're
seen.
riding on a bus
yeah.
next to a person that you like, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's like just like those scenes in the movies and the shows and stuff.
I've had that experience exactly once in my life.
That's where I had my first. Well, that's where we had our first kiss, on the band bus.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's probably shouldn't say that.
I can't say that here.
In the back of the.
Cut that out.
I kissed my now wife
I
on
kissed
the
my
back
now
of the
wife.
band bus in
Yeah.
high school. You
It's
should
probably
never
really the
admit to that.
middle.
The middle of the band bus?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's even grosser, really, because now you've got.
Hey, I was the cool kid in band.
Yeah, I bet you were freaking kissing women left and right on the bus. Sicko. You got two sides of people watching you. You understand that?
Two sides?
Two sides.
What do you mean?
Double side. Well, because you're in the middle
It's
of the
not
bus.
3 rows.
You're in the middle of the bus.
I'm not in the middle of the
Now
bus.
you're on.
I'm on the right side of the bus.
You're on the right side of the bus.
I think I remember.
In the middle.
Actually.
Right side of the middle of the bus.
Mm.
So now you've got rows of people behind you. If you're on the back of the bus, you've only got rows of people in front of you.
You got people in front of you, behind you, and to your side. So I'd say 3 sides.
If you're in the back
least.
of the bus, you've only got people in
I'm
front
in
of
the
you.
middle of the bus.
That's what I'm saying. You're in the middle of the bus. You got twice as many people watching you.
Okay.
You're surrounded.
We're moving on.
If you're in the middle of the bus, you're surrounded. That's just how it works.
I asked
The only
her
experience
out
I ever had was
in French
she
class.
fell asleep on me in the bus.
We both took French. I was a year ahead of her,
Oh, oui, oui.
or 2. I think I was 2 years ahead of her because she switched from German to French when she moved to the school.
Well, she was ahead of you in chemistry, so.
So she took a year of German at her old school, but they didn't offer German here at our school, but they offered French and Spanish.
French and Spanish, fancy. We had Spanish and French.
You want to hear what I did?
I took Spanish.
It was a grand gesture.
Oh.
So
Glow in the dark spray paint on the door.
The teacher liked me, so I talked to the I talked to the teacher, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna ask my girlfriend out,
Your now wife.
or I'm gonna ask my now wife out. I'm asking her out, so she wasn't even my girlfriend yet.
Ooh.
So I was like, because the teacher would go around the classroom and make us write up a sentence on the board.
Uh-huh.
So we had chalkboards the whole way around the class.
Chalkboards?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
old.
we're old school.
That's
chalkboards.
really old. We got smart boards because we're not peasants.
Smart boards came and then they went. No one stuck with smart boards
We stuck with
because
smart
they
boards.
kind of sucked.
If you paid that much for them, you're going to keep them.
They found their way into some janitor's closet and just kind of stayed there after we used them for a year.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
It's
the most absurd thing.
The previous class that was in before the current class would usually leave sentences written up on the board and they wouldn't erase them. It was a very common thing. So I wrote up a sentence and we wrote up fake sentences around the room in French, and one of the sentences was mine, and it was, "Will you go out with me?"
Is that in French?
And then it was signed my name, and then and then
Was that in French?
yeah,
Like the sentence was in French?
yes, I can't remember it.
I was about to say I don't know what that would say at all.
I can't remember. I can't remember how we wrote it. I asked the teacher for help. I'm like, "How do you write "Will you go
Please,
out?"
please translate. Well, if you had to ask
So
for help, how's she gonna be able to read
so her
it?
well, I mean, you could have translated it, but
Uh-huh. Well, Lindsay was probably in the name, the sentence.
yeah, maybe. I can't remember, to be honest. I can't remember that much. Anyway,
Incredible.
her class came in. All the sentences were still written up on the board from
Uh-huh.
the last class,
Right.
and the teacher, Mrs. Pilarski, asked,
What?
as it was her name, she
Polarski?
asked Pilarski.
Okay, Polish woman.
She asked Lindsay to the board and said, "Will you translate this sentence,
Oh,
my sentence?"
smooth criminal.
And then translated it.
Dun, 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 dun.
I think it took her a second, if I remember.
Only a
But
second.
then I was like waiting
Wow.
outside the door or something. So yeah, that was 2014, and we got married in 2020.
Did she like it?
We never took any breaks. When I say we've been together exclusively for 9 years, it's not
9
like a lot of
years.
other couples that have been like, "Oh, we've been on and off for
Wow.
9 years." Like,
It's almost twice
been
as
together
long
for
as
nine
I've been
years.
alive.
Like, we might as well have been married since then.
Good gracious. Might as
So
well.
yeah, celebrate
Celebrate good times. Come on.
me. So that's how I met my wife. Yeah, and now we are pregnant and expecting in
No.
January.
When were you gonna tell me that?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited. We're gonna have a little girl.
Excellent.
Don't know the name yet,
Yet.
and I don't know if I would
You're-
say it on here anyway.
You're gonna name her Alec.
Once we figured it out, little Allie,
Little Allie. Little Lexi.
little Lexi.
That would be so awesome.
So before I got going, you said you had a question from the
what-
break.
What'd you do when you grew up? What did you do?
What I do when I grew up.
What did you do when you grew up? What did you What did you do growing up?
So
Fun times?
fun times for me
Did you have jobs?
growing up. Oh, we'll get to. I get what? These are two separate questions. Jobs were not
You
fun.
didn't work the cornfields?
No.
You didn't play with the Ames?
I mean, that was one of the fun things that we did is we'd go
Playing with the
into
Ames?
not the Ames, the field.
The Mish?
Go back to the field.
Grandfather Mish
No, we'd go
would give you
into
a copper shekel.
we'd go back through the woods to a farmer's field on the other side of the woods.
Not the turnips.
And he had cows.
Oh no. You
So we would
tipped
go back
cows.
into the field with the cows, and cows do this thing where if you get close to them and you start sprinting away from them,
Right?
they will follow. The whole herd will
Right.
start running behind
They
you.
get excited.
I don't know why.
That's why the Spanish do
I'm
it.
sure there's some kind of answer,
That's why the run of the bulls. Whatever
but
it's
we
called.
thought it was so fun and so funny, and it really was fun.
I don't think I could
When you
outrun
have
a
a
bull.
herd of cattle chasing behind you through a field and through woods. Is that the big man upstairs?
I don't know what that was. Cows doing what now?
Yeah, so we're we're running away from a herd of cattle, and we're running.
I can't outrun a cow.
It's an open field. I mean,
Absolutely not.
if we tripped or something,
You're effed.
we would have been effed. We just got lucky every
In
time we did this.
the
We've done this multiple times,
A.
a lot of times. It was a blast. But it wasn't just all open fields.
You could've
It would
died.
be because the fence also included woods. So we'd book it to the fence or the wood line and go running through the woods, and the cows just followed right behind us into the woods, the thick of it. And they are plowing through the woods, still following us. And we are barely making it away from them. The closest I got was like
You
I
baited them?
jumped off a cliff, off the side of a cliff, and they had to stop.
Well, how tall is Cliff?
Like, okay, not like, not freaking Grand Canyon cliff or whatever, but like enough that a cow's
It
not
was a
gonna jump
couple
off it
feet.
willingly. I mean, those things didn't care, but yeah, you would have been
Well, it's a cow.
trampled
What's
to
it gonna
death.
do?
I mean, speaking of trampling, my buddy got
Oh crap!
the same buddy that we used to run away from the cows from, or with.
What?
He
We used to run away
also
with the-
owned horses, and he one day I got a call from his sister. Turns out he was out in the
Horse
field with
girl.
his horse, and he literally got run over by his horse,
Good for
like
him.
hoof on head
Oh,
into the dirt.
is he okay?
Yeah,
He's-
he was fine
He's
after it.
still
I think he went to the hospital in the moment. He
he's
got
still
knocked
around.
out. But yeah, he's good.
He's still around.
Yeah, he's still around.
All his faculties.
I don't know. I don't know what happened that day. I didn't notice
He's talking.
any
He talks with a
deficiencies.
speech impediment now.
I never noticed any deficiencies, so
Got cauliflower ear.
fine to me. Cauliflower ears, nasty.
Yeah. Looks
That
like,
that would be
looks like a vegetable.
the only thing that would turn me off of, like, if I ever picked up boxing or something.
If
Yeah, if I did.
you're saying
I'm never ruling it out.
you're saying
I'd love
wouldn't.
to box,
I'll-
but
I'll
I'm not a
box you.
boxer.
I'll box you.
You want to box?
Sure. Not right now.
Oh.
We're busy. Dadgummit, we're busy.
Push the table up against the wall.
That made a lot more movement and noise than I thought it would.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. You can figure it out.
I actually wrote down stuff we used to do.
Oh,
Dirt bike
crap.
riding. Dirt
Dirt
bike
bike
riding
riding.
and quads. You ever dirt bike riding, quad ride when you
Yeah,
were younger?
I work out my quads.
What? No. Did you?
Did
You
I
ever-
what?
Dirt bike ride, quad
No,
ride.
some of us grew up actually poor.
What?
Yeah,
We're talking about like $800 dirt bikes or something.
just $800.
You didn't grow up poor.
That's
I didn't
rent.
grow up poor.
That is rent for a month or a mortgage.
I was rich in
You were rich in
happiness.
money, dealing with them
I was a rich
woodworking
in
Amish,
spirit.
buying their toys from them at a premium and selling them to children all across the globe.
You think the Amish sold dirt bikes and quads?
No, they sold wooden toys that you would sell for a markup, and then you would buy the
Oh.
toys or the dirt bikes.
That's smart.
It
I
is
should have
smart.
done that.
Yeah, if I had access to Ames and Mishes, I would do it. Capitalism is such a wonderful concept.
For a while, I said.
Such a big fan.
For a while, I would always. I didn't say Amish. I said Amish.
That's stupid.
But you're saying Ames right now, so you're just kind of proving my point.
I'm actually pretty sure that's the correct term
Amish?
for most. No, for most
Ames?
like multiple Amish people is Ames.
Really?
I don't. I feel like that's true.
I never connected to your Wi-Fi. So
Reconnect to my Wi-Fi and look it up.
your
You're gonna-
Wi-Fi doesn't even show up
You're
on
gonna
the list.
have to. It better.
Yeah, we'd always dirt bike ride, quad ride, and like you said, when you would push through the thick of it,
The
you
thick
were
of it. Into the
you were
thick
the
of
front
it.
guy. You know what I mean?
Ugh.
When you're talking about your shooting
Ugh.
club, they'd send you first for the Jaggers.
Tramping
You
through
call
the
them
bush.
Jaggers?
Who? Gators?
Jaggers.
What are you talking about?
You know, the freaking plants that would stab you in the woods.
Jaggers?
Yeah, we call them Jagger bushes.
Chiggers?
Chiggers?
Chigger bushes? What is a
I
jagger?
like Jagger bush.
I
better.
don't know what you're talking about.
Thorn bushes?
Thorn bush.
Thorn bush.
I know what a thorn bush is.
We just call them Jaggers. Anyway, the same way that you got cut up, you would get cut up
I'm not
riding
from
through the woods on
Australia.
dirt bikes and quads.
Uh huh.
So I have a lot of scars on me actually, just from getting torn up
Yeah,
riding
sure.
around in a
You and your
t-shirt.
porcelain skin.
What? Porcelain wouldn't scratch.
What? Porcelain cracks all the time.
Not cracks, scratch.
What is a crack on a porcelain if not a scratch on skin?
That doesn't make any sense. We'd play airsoft.
And doesn't make any
You like
sense.
airsoft?
No.
What?
I've been shot with
Oh my
guns.
gosh. You talking about a real gun or an airsoft gun? I don't know with you.
I've been shot with BB guns.
So 22.
I've nearly been shot with real guns.
What do you mean by BB gun? Like plastic airsoft gun or
Plastic,
a copper
metal,
BB, a steel BB?
steel BB,
Really?
plastic too.
You've been shot by a steel BB?
Have you not? I thought that was pretty standard.
That is not standard. That would
That's
hurt.
not standard? Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That's why you shoot
That's
each
why
other.
you shoot with a plastic BB.
Shoot.
It still
Growing up,
stings,
we would play this game.
but it's doable.
Sidetracked. We would play this game called War. Oh, it's incredible. War is you would take BBs. You would load them into BB guns. They would be steel BBs because that's what was cheapest that we could find typically.
Mm.
You would load these steel BBs in your Red Ryder double action or single action BB gun lever action.
Everyone
Red
had one of
Ryder
those.
lever action BB gun.
Yep.
Cock it, whop it, then you would Fetty top it.
What does that even mean?
Don't worry about it. He knows. Then you would
Who's he?
you would cock it and you would have your teams, your dad,
Oh yeah.
me, my brothers.
What?
Well, my brother and then cousins.
Your father?
We would play together. Yeah, my father.
Excellent.
We would play together. Everybody would get a gun. Everybody would get BBs. You would hide. There would be a seeker and a beseeked id.
Sure.
And then
Be soaking.
you would look for somebody. And while you were looking, you'd get shot at. And in the midst of getting shot at, you would get hit
Oh yeah.
with steel bearings. And sometimes, you'd bruise, bleed, blister,
I think.
puncture.
So you're explaining something that's very similar to what we used to do. It was like basically
So much fun.
you
I
were
got
looking
hit by
for
my
someone.
dad a lot.
What was that called? Like hostage. Yeah, like a hostage.
I don't know what that is.
Or like search and rescue or something like that.
You're playing Call of Duty. I don't play games.
You have a person like you said, and you're searching for them. You're trying to rescue them. You got to get them from the other team, or just capture the flag or something.
Right.
Two
CPD,
teams.
CTP,
But the more
CTF.
safer way is to do CTF. The more safer way is to do plastic BBs, airsoft.
No, that's stupid.
It was made to shoot at each other.
No, take steel to the face. Be an adult.
And obviously, you'd say wear your safety goggles, but
No, that's stupid.
yeah,
We
you
never
really
wore
didn't need
safety
'em.
gear. We would wear
They fog up. I
regular
hated safety
flannel.
goggles. Still do.
Safety goggles are stupid.
I hate them where we work.
We don't wear them.
That's right. We don't wear them.
You would wear your regular flannel, as you would, your denim jeans.
Yep.
Your tennis shoes. You get herb boots. You get right up there. You take a shot.
Airsoft guns can
Right in the
push
tuchus.
out. You get the heavier bullets. I think the heaviest was like 0.25 grams in weight. Yeah.
What the heck are you talking about?
And
we didn't go by weight. We just bought.
And they were cheap. They're cheaper than steel BBs, and they're cheaper than copper BBs, or copper coated at least.
I don't think ours could take plastic. I think that's why we use steel.
Well, you buy specific airsoft guns
No,
with plastic BBs.
we didn't have that kind of money.
But you get the heaviest ones because obviously, if you have a powerful gun and you can shoot the heavy ones, they travel the farthest, straightest. You know what I mean? Because if you have a really light BB, which you can get lighter BBs, your gun, any gun can shoot them far, but they're going to veer off.
Yeah, just like
They're not going to go in a straight line
just like
because
a
of the wind
musket
resistance.
ball.
So you want more weight, obviously, and you want more weight to do more damage to the other person.
right.
Ow!
Stick a walnut
What
in a
the
snowball.
heck?
Same concept.
You shot me in the face. No face shots.
Shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah, you just wait on either side. There was one time when we got the bright idea.
Right.
When you give like 12-year-old boys, 13-year-old boys access to a welder, they kind of think of things for their
Right.
airsoft
What
group.
metal can I put together?
Yeah, so we went to the nearest junkyard, grabbed some shop or the side of the road. I can't remember what we got. Most of them. We grabbed shopping carts and we get the welder and we just go crazy. And we make tanks that we can freaking tanks that we can push into the battlefield with someone in the shopping cart and
Huh?
their gun, and you just unload on everyone around you and you don't get hit.
How'd you get inside the shopping cart?
Well, we you know how shopping carts push up in the back so they can
Yeah.
connect together?
You just put sheet metal over that?
Yeah,
Because you would get
but
hit
it would
in the
but
through the
it can
slits
still
otherwise.
push up.
Yeah, but you would get hit through the slits otherwise.
Oh yeah, we covered it. We coated them.
With sheet metal.
Sheet metal, wood, and zip ties, whatever we can rig
You
this thing up with.
welded wood.
No. Welded sheet metal, or use zip ties for wood. We're 12-year-old boys. You know, we're just making it all stick on it.
You built a zombie survival weapon.
Yeah.
Zombies can't
It
get
was a
in that.
blast.
You could ride that through town,
It was a blast.
just shooting your neighbors.
Eventually, we got more into airsoft, and now people are buying sniper rifles that can shoot, 1800, 2000 FPS. And that, I mean, most airsoft guns, if you get a nice enough one, you can shoot more power, more feet per second than a regular BB gun.
I'm not gonna lie, you should have gotten more into welding. I want to hear more about that tank idea later.
Yeah. I should have gotten more into welding. I did do
We-
metals class. I
we
did 2
can
years of
do
metals class in
that.
high school.
We're not allowed to do metals at my high school anymore.
Why?
Accidents.
What kind of accident?
Finger loss.
How? Just cut in a machine?
Irrelevant.
Oh my gosh, you're back at it with the safety scissors.
Hey, I didn't do this. They was gone long before I got to high school.
Really?
Yeah.
They never re-implemented metals?
No. Metals, wood shop, both gone because of that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
People kept cutting their fingers off.
How? Idiots. Who the heck's in charge of your metals and wood shop?
Let's not talk about that. We still had electricity and electrical fundamentals.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean,
horticulture,
you'd rather
animal
shock
science.
yourself to death than cut a finger off or
Well,
cut an
yeah.
appendage.
Yeah. Heart murmurs can be fixed.
Electricity's
What am I
way
gonna do
more
with my
dangerous
finger?
and way
It's
more
gone.
accessible than a freaking machine with a safety guard on it.
I'll stick my finger in a socket.
Huh?
What?
Socket.
Ideally.
Um,
What you got there? What is
I'm
that?
just looking at the list, trying to
Checking
see,
it twice.
because
Gonna
I can't
find out
think
who's
of stuff on the spot like
Ted or nice.
Yeah, I know.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know,
Whimsy
that's
Claus
the
is
stupid kind of stuff
coming
that we
to
used to do
town.
growing up. You just kind of had to make fun.
Excellent.
Video games didn't really come into play until, I don't know, halfway through high school.
Mid 19th century.
So you had to make fun for yourself even before that, which is pretty cool that we got to grow up,
Yeah.
outside of that.
Atari.
We're kind of like, it's getting further and further away from that pre-video game era. You know what I mean? Like kids growing up, and
They want to be inside now.
they want to be inside, and they
Yeah.
want to have a screen in front of them.
They want to have porcelain skin. That's
we do
uncracked.
too. We kind of grew up with cell phones.
I didn't.
I mean, once we got to a certain age, because
No.
they didn't have iPhones back then. The closest, I remember the first touchscreen phone I had was a BlackBerry Touch.
What?
BlackBerry made like
You did grow up rich.
the first touchscreen phone.
You know, the first phone I had
What?
was a flip phone from Verizon.
That wasn't
had
the
a-
first phone I had. That was the first touchscreen.
I had Chili's cheeseburger
What?
as my
That's not a phone.
wallpaper.
Oh.
Yeah, how would you let me finish my sentence before you start critiquing what I say? Yeah, Chili's cheeseburger with the bite taken out of it was my background for a long time because I thought it
Jeez.
was such a cool photo that I took. I was like, this looks awesome.
This one's great.
Yeah, this thing looks
Oh my gosh.
incredible. The pixels.
Oh,
There's so many.
5 pixels.
The
Oh,
the
gosh.
440p looks so neat.
We're coming on 2 hours.
Holy cripes.
Yeah. I don't know what you want to do.
I don't know what you want to do
You want
either.
to keep going?
Sure.
Sure.
It's pretty
All right.
up there.
I don't know.
How much longer you want to talk?
What was the other question you asked? Jobs?
Sure.
Jobs. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You
I mean, I mocked you about a 1-month job, but I had a lot of jobs.
yeah, you can't hold a job to save your life. You're unreliable.
I jumped a lot of around to a lot of jobs.
Call you old unreliable.
Old unreliable.
There he is.
Yeah, that's my nickname.
Brandon himself, old unreliable.
Yeah, so jobs. Okay, my first job was McDonald's as well as everyone else's.
But I know you jumped ship. I didn't
Huh?
know you worked at McDonald's.
Yeah, I worked at McDonald's
And then
and then yeah, this is gonna be hard. I worked at McDonald's and then I worked at a restaurant for 1 week as a dishwasher. And then I went to another restaurant that paid more that was closer to my house.
did a lot of fast
So
restaurant places.
I quit the one that was farther away for minimum wage back when minimum wage was actually minimum wage,
Wow.
$7.25. And then I took a job at a place that offered me a job after I already started at the minimum wage place, but they were offering $8 an hour and it was closer to my house. And I'm like, it's a no-brainer.
75 cents more.
So I went to
Hours
that
closer.
place, and I worked there for, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, like over the summer. No, yeah, 4 months over the summer, before they literally just vanished one day.
What do you mean?
The restaurant wasn't doing well; it just opened, and they were hiring on staff. That was me. I was part of the new crew because they just
Probably
opened,
because they were overpaying you.
and they weren't getting anyone coming there. It was a
Makes
barbecue
sense.
place. No one.
Oh, that sucks.
This location specifically that I'm talking about, this job that I had, was at a location that they never stayed open. No matter how many places have been open in this area, in this specific building, they never survive more than a couple months. They always closed.
That's sad.
There has probably been like 7 or 8 different restaurants gone through this one building, and people
Still,
keep trying.
to this day.
To this day, there are still restaurants opening up and closing.
I think people will learn their lesson.
You'd think so. I don't know what it is. It's a pretty good area. Like you would think it would do well,
Well, it's got the reputation now.
but yeah, apparently.
Let's not eat there.
So yeah, I worked there for a couple months and then they just vanished. I didn't get my last paycheck.
Good.
They were really trying to skimp on money towards the
Free
end,
labor.
and then
My
yeah, they
favorite
just left.
kind of labor. Free labor.
Loved it.
I
Oh,
love
working
a
for
good
free,
free
that really
labor.
did it for me.
Ah.
So I worked there, and then from there I went to a little farther away. It was like a 25-minute drive now,
All the way in Harrisburg.
but this was like the bougie rich area. It's
That-
called Cranberry Township. Cranberry, yeah, up and coming, and it's
Yeah.
still growing to
I
this day.
bet a bunch of berries live there.
It has a lot. But I worked at first. I worked at Joann Fabrics,
Joann Fabrics.
and
Whoa.
honestly, one of the best jobs I've ever had.
Named after Chip and Joanne.
When you work with a bunch of old women,
I
and
don't know if that's true.
you're a young male, and you're with your buddy. So me and my buddy both got hired there because we knew the manager. It was our buddy's mom was the manager, so she got us hired there with a bunch of older women. And we have like a comms station. You know, you're carrying a walkie around and you have a little earpiece on, and you can just like say the goofiest, dumbest things in the comms all
You
day.
still do.
Yeah. And they just like laugh and laugh and laugh, and they love it. Like you have older
Joanne
women
herself.
all working at Joann, and no men come from Joann or come through Joann. It's just a bunch of other women, usually older, for fabrics and crafts. So you know
Old women love fabric.
you have access to two young, spry funny,
Careful.
funny
Be
boys.
very careful with what you're about to say.
It was a blast. Retail is so much better than food, fast food.
Be less careful. What do you mean by access to two young men?
Uh, just like they don't have that normal presence of two young men making jokes all day.
Their grandkids
They're
don't
not
visit.
used to it, so
Their
it's a new.
grandkids don't visit anymore.
Probably not.
That's sad.
Probably not.
You should probably go visit
Yeah.
them.
But
Say hello.
we
Rake
all
their
had a
leaves.
great time when we were at work.
Excellent.
They don't understand like young
Humor.
person's humor.
Gen Z.
Yeah,
Gen Z
so
boys.
like you can mess with people really easy too. We didn't take advantage of them.
You better not have.
We just made jokes at a couple people's expenses. Yeah, Joanne was a blast. Love working at Joanne Fabrics.
Joanne loved you.
Would do it again. If the pay was more. The pay was not that good for the area we were in because everyone else around us, every other store, every other fast food joint was paying like 10 and we were getting 8. So that's when I went to Wendy's. I worked at Wendy's.
Wendy's nuts.
I worked at Wendy's for a while. When I say a while, I probably mean like a year or something.
That's a
And
while.
yeah. I mean for fast food, yeah. Probably. But there was a couple more of us from like my high school that all worked there, so we also had a lot of fun working at Wendy's. Throwing fries at each other or making extra sandwiches by accident so we can eat the sandwiches
Wow.
after shift
You
or whatever.
absolute scumbag.
Yeah. Or messing with customers or
Dave
messing with people
Thomas would be ticked.
over the headset. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Wendy Thomas is upset.
And I eat
I don't think
Wendy's
she's
every
a Thomas
day.
anymore.
And I can still eat Wendy's to this day. Every day. I love Wendy's.
Oh yeah, I love Wendy's.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite.
I say it all the
fast
time
foods.
to you specifically, but yeah, I love
Yep.
Wendy's. And the reason I know it's good
We
is
have the
because
meats.
I can eat it still to this day, all the time, and I
Like-
still don't get tired of it,
Ooh.
even after working there for a year and eating it. Anyway, went to Wendy's, and then
We don't cut corners.
yeah, they don't cut corners because the
Square,
patties are square. You get it?
square patties.
They're never frozen.
Fresh, never frozen.
They were never frozen. At least from what I saw, they were never frozen.
Oh.
Yeah, they were all fresh.
You can attest to the freshness.
Yeah, I can. We cut our veggies every day.
How do you make
Every
beef
morning, cut the veggies
stay
ourselves
raw that long
in a fridge.
across the country?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it came from beforehand. I know it was raw when we had it. Yeah.
You could hand patty that raw meat.
One thing that's gross is that the bacon guy was also the first window guy. So you
What does
roll
that
up to
mean?
the first window and you take cash
Right.
at the pay window,
Uh huh.
and then you have dirty, grubby cash in your hands. You put it in
Nasty
the drawer,
cash.
and then you go and grab raw bacon and spread it out on a sheet and you put it in an
Well,
oven.
he's cooking it.
Cash, bacon, cash, bacon.
Who doesn't love cocaine in their bacon?
I'm not worried about the cocaine. I'm worried about the freaking possibly
Feces.
STDs.
What? I don't think you can
That's
get.
how they transmit.
I don't think you can get STDs in
cash.
dollar bills. I don't think the average stripper is transmitting her STDs on her cash. You just get somebody paying with all ones at the Wendy's window. You're like, oh, I gotta clean this money before I put my bacon on the grill.
I hated dishwashing though, so I worked every job in Wendy's except the dishwasher because I hated washing dishes. I always avoided it. I always found a way to avoid washing
Did
the
you
dishes.
ever play Wendy?
Huh?
Did you ever play Wendy?
Yeah.
Dress
yeah,
up.
they'd give you the wig and
red
you'd go out on the
pigtails.
corner
Hi guys.
with a sign. Like,
Look at me.
I'm Wendy.
I'm Wendy.
Come call me my square burgers.
Fresh, never frozen. Come see my raw meat.
gosh. uh, yeah. I mean, for the next part, it only makes sense if I tell you my college life. But
Oh,
I'll shortly. I went to Geneva College, which was in Beaver Falls. My high school was in Elwood City. I
named
told you.
after the legendary convention.
Yeah, yeah, the Beaver Falls Convention.
Yeah.
Yep,
Right.
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 Yeah, so my high school was in Elwood City technically, and the college was in Beaver Falls. So like
Rich.
in the town over,
Oh,
everything was one town away.
Did you say the town river?
One town over.
Oh, I thought you said my town in the town river.
So yeah, I went to Geneva College. It was a Reformed Presbyterian college, and
Okay,
I studied political science.
whatever that means.
Political science with a minor in economics.
Talking about Reformed Presbyterian.
Reformed Presbyterian. You don't want to have that discussion. That'll be another couple hours. But yeah, got my political science degree, minor in economics. And so the reason I say that is because my next job
So you're an economic minor.
was at the county, or no, the township office,
The county fair.
Chippewa Township. To this day,
Indian.
yeah, Chippewa. Yep. Chippewa was the town name.
Well, Chippewa.
Nope, Chippewa. So I worked for the Parks and Recreation department, which was all of two people, the director and then me, who got hired on
With
as the
Leslie Knope
assistant.
herself.
Yeah, Leslie Knope ran the department.
Really? That's incredible.
No, it was an old gentleman.
Ron Swanson.
His name was Chuck, and he used to be
That's basically Ron.
the manager of a YMCA in the area. So
I bet he was.
kind of makes sense. They go from the YMCA to
Good old
Parks and
Chuck.
Recreation, I
Good
guess.
old Chuck.
But yeah, I worked for him
Everybody hated the
at the
government.
township. I ended up doing a lot of work on their website because the township was full of old people again. So
Good.
none of them knew how to operate the website.
Excellent.
And it looked like a website from like 1990 or something. So I'm like, we're gonna revamp this. I'm gonna
Windows XP.
figure it out myself, and that's what I did. If you look at Chippewa Township, I can't remember the
Chippewa.
actual web page. If you Google Chippewa Township to this day, if you click on the web page, it's still all the work that I did.
It still populates.
Yeah, it still populates
Good job.
as it is today. The graphics and everything, the way it's laid out.
Nobody has decided you did a better job since then.
No, I just don't think they have had someone
Like, you know what?
that
young man did such excellent work.
is tech oriented, I guess.
We can't do any better.
It's full of old people.
Good.
Ideally, they can barely log in and update the news and events page.
Nice.
Uh,
That's where my tax money's going.
and I
No, it's not.
I
I'm not
didn't
from
know
Pennsylvania.
anything. I didn't know anything about
You
it. So I
still don't.
basically would just look up a YouTube video like, how do I add a title? How do I do this? A
How-
tab.
Excuse me. How do I work Excel?
Just figured it out. It's basically what I was paid for
Where
at the
is
township.
Word document?
You're freaking blowing up the
Damn.
mic.
Clippy.
Clippy. How do I do this?
Clippy. Please help me. God, Clippy, help me.
God. Clippy, help us all.
God, Clippy, please send us salvation. Help me fix this website.
So yeah, so I worked at the township, and then I worked at up to my current job, I worked at the township, kind of on the side. And then I also worked at a memorial hospital. It was
You worked at a hospital?
I didn't work at a hospital
Wow.
per se.
Why would you say it that way then?
It was a hospital for
Minorities.
mentally challenged, not minorities. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
What did you say before? You said
the mentally challenged.
What did you say before that? You said minority hospital, didn't you?
No, Memorial Hospital.
Memorial. I heard.
Oh my
I heard
gosh.
minority.
It's a specific
I
hospital for minorities.
I heard minority hospital. I feel so bad. I was like, you worked at a hospital for
Holy
minorities.
crap.
That's my bad. That's my bad.
I worked in the
Wait a minute. I'm so confused now. You worked at a memorial hospital.
it's
for
called
the-
McGuire Memorial
Oh,
Hospital.
I bet it is.
You can look it up.
I
You
bet
can
it
look up
is.
McGuire Memorial Hospital.
McGuire Memorial.
Yep.
It is for those with mental faculty problems.
Mental disabilities. There was a main hospital site with the most needing patients there.
Shout out to McGuire Memorial Hospital.
It's an amazing place.
Wonderful
They also
hospital.
they also want people to have normal lives too that don't have
Good.
to be in the hospital.
Good.
So they also have surrounding like houses in the area.
Uh-huh.
They probably have over 20 different homes,
Excellent.
actual just normal homes that the hospital would buy, and they let patients live in there as their home. So they'd have
Excellent.
3 to 4 people per home in these homes all around the county
Okay.
or surrounding counties, along with the main hospital site. So as you can imagine, we needed a big crew to go around and do maintenance on these houses because there's a lot of them, maintenance on the hospital, and also just landscaping too. Landscaping was a big thing. And they also had a school, in a school building that was newer.
What kind of mental
On my way out.
disabilities?
Anything, any
That tells
mental
me
disabilities.
Nothing.
To
I
the
want
point that
specifics.
the person cannot take care of themselves whatsoever.
Be more
Like that
specific.
would be the hospital people.
Down syndrome?
They're yeah. It
Autism?
could be anything. Yeah.
Autism?
Autism, Down syndrome.
Cerebral palsy?
Yeah.
Parkinson's?
There was this older gentleman that was the raunchiest person you'd ever meet.
Down syndrome.
And everyone loved him. He was an old man, but he's
With
very
what?
short, with
Of course.
autism, I
Oh,
believe it was. And he
a
would
raunchy autist?
cuss like a sailor, and he would say the
What?
worst things to the
You'd
nurses.
say you'd say the worst things. What a scumbag.
And he'd lean over to the
What?
guys and be like, he'd say something nasty
This
about
doesn't sound like autism.
whatever nurse.
This just sounds like a bad bad man. What? You're just letting some old creepy guy get away with this.
No, they they don't let him get
We-
away with it. They yell at him
we-
all the time, but
we
he
tested him.
just laughs.
What? Yeah, I bet he would.
Yeah, he cracks up. Oh man, I wish I remember his name. He was awesome.
Is he still with
He
us?
cracked us up. I don't know. He was older.
Been 9
He's
years.
an older gentleman. Yeah, it's been a while. No, actually, no. This was my most
been
recent job before
20
our current
years.
job.
Right.
This is the job that I went on my lunch break and met
Lindsay,
the person that got
Oh.
me into the job that we're currently in.
you scumbag.
Yeah, I was
I
on my
hate
lunch
it.
break, and then he recruited me for our current job at the company we work.
He was a headhunter.
Yeah, he's a headhunter.
He headhunted you to work
They
at.
have a quota to fill.
So stupid. You idiot. Freaking moron.
Yeah, so that's pretty much my life. Yeah.
That's
I don't know.
it.
You have any questions? You have any more?
No, I never do.
We should probably wrap it up, actually.
Wrap it up. All right. Well, you're not hitting stop recording, are you?
No.
Good. What are you
Um,
doing over there?
I'll tell you in a second.
I'll tell you later. I'm gonna tell you whenever I can move.
Next
my
episode,
lips. What?
Next
Next
episode,
episode,
we're gonna have
we're
our
excited
first
to announce
guest.
first
Where
guest.
we're gonna announce?
Huh?
We're gonna announce, or we're just gonna let it be a surprise?
We're gonna let it be a surprise.
Excellent.
If you know,
That's
you
what
know.
I thought. If you know,
YKYK, whatever the
What?
kids are calling it nowadays. If you know, you know.
Y2K.
Y2K. I was born nearby.
What?
The clocks are gonna count down, and the bombs are gonna destroy us all. Anyway, so where were we?
Outro.
Outro. So next week,
I'm so glad to be done talking
I'm
about
so-
myself.
I'm so glad.
Got
Thank
it
God.
done and over with.
Finally.
Oh my
We
gosh,
don't
that
have to approach
sucked.
this anymore. Jesus Christ, that sucked.
I was so sick of hearing about you.
So tired of it.
If I have to hear one more thing about your life,
I'm gonna punch myself in the
gonna
face
do something.
repeatedly. I'm gonna bash my head in this wall.
With the foam panels, you'll be fine.
No, I'll ignore the panels.
I'll just ignore them.
Like freaking Toblerones back there. Anyway, we're gonna next week we're gonna get our very first guest, dear friend of ours, incredible young gentleman. That's all that we're gonna tease at this time.
Oh my goodness.
Tune in next week, roughly Monday. Who knows what time?
Every Monday.
I never do. Every Monday. Every Monday we'll release new episodes. Ideally, here on out, we'll have a guest every week. Who's it gonna be? I don't know. Be somebody new, talking about different topics, having a great time.
Yep.
Don't forget, always do the normal YouTube things. Promote our channels. It's so stupid. I hate that bull crap.
Don't promote our channels.
Promote our channels, dadgummit.
Don't forget to hit that dislike button.
We need the free revenue.
None.
We're getting none. We need the zero amount of revenue that we're getting from doing this.
Have a good week, everyone.
Have a great time. Be
Thanks for
safe.
listening if you did.
Don't drink and drive. Don't do drugs.
If you skip to the end, you suck.
Care and
just
Dare are valid programs.
I wouldn't listen until the guest episodes anyway, so
Yeah, probably not. First episode kind of sucked. Second episode also
sucked.
sucked.
See you next week.
With a bigger CK. Bye-bye.
Bye.